Welcome to the Human Talk podcast, where I don't have an intro. I'm here with my guest. Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Greg, and I did one video, and I guess that was pretty cool. So now I'm here. I started a little. Oh, it's going to be a series.
Okay.
I'm calling it Greg's Grand Game Library, with the lofty and unrealistic goal of making a video about every game in my 400 game strong library on Steam.
And you have made one video already. So can you tell us what that one's about? Damn, I feel like
Uh,
I feel so professional. I'm asking you questions like an interviewer would. Tell
yeah,
me
it's
about the video.
crazy. Yeah, the first video was about a visual novel called Necrobarista. That one was I played that like mid 2020, and it like stuck in my mind for so long that like around October, I just started writing a script for a video. Because before I would always like write big essays on my own Discord server, just for my friends about games I really liked, and I would like always hit the Discord limit, and I was like, okay, this is annoying. I need more space to really express what these games mean to me. So I just
Mm.
figured, okay, I'll write a script, record it, and just do videos on that, because that's really what it's all about. Just getting my thoughts out there, you know.
So this came from like your like passion for video games essentially. Like you're really like
Yeah.
want for discussion.
Yes. When I play a game that just sticks in my mind for hours after I finished it, and just I just need to like sort out my thoughts and get them out there. Just it doesn't even matter if anyone sees it. I just make it, put it out there. And
Mm.
with this first video, I was actually like, proud enough that I actually did some uh, showing it around.
And went pretty well, right?
Yeah, I like uh, one of my friends took it upon himself to like send it to everyone he knows, basically. Like most of those are like political or philosophy people, so I don't know why he would send it to them, but yeah, I guess it worked kind of. Like I went from like nothing to like having 80 views on a video,
I guess like it
which
touched
like
you in a way, right?
maybe, hopefully.
I guess that's like one of the things you make the videos for too, right? Have an effect on somebody.
Yeah, I wanna get my feelings about the game across, and if it reaches them, then that I'd succeeded.
So, you know, what are your favorite types of games? Like, you because I watched the video on Necro Barista, and we had a conversation about Valhalla, which was already like one of my favorite games. I can remember like every part of that sticks in my mind. I talked about it the last podcast. So, I feel like you'd like those type of like, story based games. Not because you said in the video you're not necessarily like a visual novel fan yet. Kind of getting there though. So,
Yeah, more and more visual novels have been sneaking into my favorites, like the Phoenix Wright series, Danganronpa, Necrobarista, and like kind of the Persona series is like half JRPG, half visual novel, right?
kind of, yeah.
Uh, but usually like I like shooters, fast games, ones that really like are input heavy. Rhythm games are really like absolute passion of mine.
Like execution based games instead of like narrative,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like Doom and let's say, do you ever play Guitar Hero? That's what I want to know specifically.
I never had the controller, but whenever I was at a friend's who had one, I would always ask to play.
Yeah, yeah. That's we have like just real quick on a side tangent. Guitar Hero is gonna be like really hard to like share your passion of Guitar Hero in general because like of the nature of copyright on the internet now.
Yeah,
Because like yeah, because there's like a lot all the songs on there like fucking really big songs and really like strict with their copyright and all that shit. Like on
yeah,
Twitch, you literally cannot stream Guitar Hero anymore. It's kind of rough. So
yeah.
it's gonna be
The
one of those
Guitar
games.
Hero, Guitar Hero, and like Rock Band and stuff, they're like completely gonna disappear from like streaming and stuff.
Yeah, and it's kind of sad because like those are gonna be like one of those things where it's like you had to be there, because all those
Hmm.
accessories, all those like older game consoles that don't even have HDMI output, all those songs that are copyrighted and like all that stuff, like that's gonna make it like so you only have this particular time period where a lot of people will say like these great rhythm games are gonna stay in this particular era because of just all these like different reasons. Like even
Hmm.
DDR like is gonna go past its era because there's like a really passionate fan base for it. But Guitar
Yeah.
Hero, even if it is passionate, you have Clone Hero and all that. It's not gonna be like because DDR you have the pad right,
Hmm.
and you could basically like you can put that like essentially anywhere I guess. But this like weirdly shaped guitar controller that like fits only specific controller types, you have to put it literally inside of it. It's gonna be a little harder to get into like later on, later and later.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of a sad thing, but yeah, I could see the like that's like the biggest like rhythm game I got into personally. So I could see like I know the appeal, and
Hmm.
I see what you mean by like the execution base, like the rush of the like perfect like doing it well and better and better.
Yeah, Mustache is kind of filling that for me right now.
Mm-hmm. The that game is really cheap on Steam, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's the basic edition. Like the DLC just as planned.
It's like 30 bucks.
That's the full game.
Uh, it's like the
It's
trial
basically a
version.
demo version, the cheap one.
Basically,
Yeah.
yeah, basically a demo.
Yeah, you get the first pack and a weekly free song from the rest of the game.
Whoopee! Wow. Whoa! Calm down, guys. Don't get too thing.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. Just don't get any ideas that there's maybe a cheap game here because
Well, it is
it's a
kind of. I
trial
mean,
version.
it's like a demo that's like cheap. So I guess it's like it should be free at that point. But how many free songs you get? You like I don't know, 20.
It's something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, that's not horrible. Like that's like a demo would be like 3 to 5 songs, and that's like a trial, I guess. Yeah, you just say like,
yeah.
yeah.
It's not. It's a lot of games even for like there's full price rhythm games that have less songs than this trial version, but uh fucking Pistol Whip, it's the fucking 3 songs in that game.
Yeah.
No, but definitely worth it. It's kind of simplistic, but it's one of those like easy to learn, hard to master games.
That's actually I think I holy shit, I think I have it on Steam. This is like again, I can relate to the whole Steam library thing because when you get a Steam library and you just like, put your fucking PayPal in there or whatever, you just start like it just gets out of hand, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah. Is that like the reason you started it, just like to have something to do with all these Steam games that you bought?
Yeah, more like a reason to like talk about some of them more in depth and like also challenge myself because when it comes to like certain games, I don't even know what I would talk about. Like the next one I want to do specifically because it would be a challenge is Ultrakill.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those super fast, old school inspired shooters.
Like Doom
And
and Dusk or whatever.
yeah, yeah, it's the same publisher even as Dusk.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Uh, so their challenge, of course, would be just finding stuff to say. Because Necro Barista, it presented its themes very well. Like you could, that's a game that's easy to talk about. like if you find those themes easy to talk about, right?
Yeah.
And then with all the everything in the game looks beautiful, and it got B-roll footage like baked in, so it's like very easy to make a video about, in my opinion. Like after you've combed through fucking 4 hours of footage.
Yeah, I
But
guess you're right.
for Ultrakill, I don't know. I am really struggling to write anything there, but I'm not gonna rush it.
Yeah, as long as you like, because even you did just make your first video, so I guess you have like the. Well, is this like your first video, like in general, like of YouTube, or like of this, different channel, or?
No. When I was 13, I tried doing Let's Plays of Left 4 Dead 2, but I had a cracked version, so I couldn't play online. So in the video, I said my internet is real bad, so I can't play online. To justify playing Left 4 Dead 2 alone.
You could, dang, that's kind of like, you could have just said, all right, well, I don't feel like my friends aren't awake right now. I have friends. They're in Canada though, so they're not awake right now. Or, like you could have said, I just don't want to play anyone else. Let's check out the CPUs. But no, you had to say, no, it's totally real, guys. But it's just it's totally
real.
It
was awful. I deleted them a while ago.
I could see that. I mean, everybody at some point has tried to make like, a video when they're younger and like maybe less prepared. So that's like a common backstory.
Yeah, and those had no editing. They were recorded and straight uploaded.
Man, that definitely was like back in the day, huh? That was some time ago. That's kind of crazy that you could like at some point you could have done that, but now it's like if you do this raw Let's Plays in an order, then you're not getting any kind of like views for that or whatever.
No one's gonna pay attention to that.
Yeah, I think like the only person who can do that is like Chugga Conroy, because he's like the only dude that goes like so in depth. You have to like literally like go so in depth with it that you can't like information can't be presented anywhere else. Because if you do a Let's Play, it's like pre-recorded, edited, scripted, maybe. But like with a live stream that most people would just like, all right, let's like enjoy a game, back around, you don't gotta worry about switching the video, like I'm just like playing a game. Like that's if you're just doing that, then a live stream would do better in that case.
Yeah.
And it's a different kind of YouTube, really.
It really is. But even back then, it didn't get any views.
I mean, it depends on like who it was, but but that's just generally like when, I guess like Game Grumps or whatever, right? Game Grumps got views because they had like a hook, a twist or whatever. Like their twist was like they're fucking funny. They're good at improv.
And it had a great dynamic.
Yeah.
And also, like every member had a pre-existing audience, so that helped, of course.
Yeah, that's true. Because I guess the most like the appeal at first was just like, all right, here's Egoraptor, here's Aaron Hansen or whatever, and then it just like spanned into this whole like group, then a brand, then like the powerhouse it is right now, I guess.
Yeah, like Aaron Egoraptor had an audience, Rabaros had an audience, fucking Jontron of course had an audience, and then later the Danny Saxbang.
Yeah,
like, that is a lot of like potential starting off audience to go off of.
And it's kind of like weird to think about, but like even like after they leave, they even have an audience, because like the Super Mega Crew were editors. Barry was an editor, now he's a streamer. Like it's kind of like weird how you can have like that's kind of like the dynamic though. It's like you go in, you do your thing for your time, and then you leave, and then you try to get to your what's severance or whatever, your like retirement pay or whatever.
Yeah. Whereas in that case, it's an audience.
Mm-hmm. In a way, it's like, I don't know. It's like the whole appeal of that like part was there was that they're funny, but also like okay, you want to know a little bit more about this person that you like love the videos of,
Mm-hmm.
So I guess like you like it's kind of weird thinking about, but some people like had Let's Plays as their start, and then they just never stopped doing Let's Plays. It's like their whole thing,
Yeah. I mean, that's fine if that's what makes them happy, right?
Yeah, that's true. It's like, YouTube. The whole point is being like satisfied with your work, right? It's like, getting your creative fulfillment or whatever.
Hmm.
So like in a way, it's like whatever. But it's like it seems that like a lot of the people who were doing let's plays back then, I guess they like stagnated or whatever, which it's fine. If you like doing it, then it's fine. But it's like they never change their like a lot of people who do like a certain type of thing on YouTube, like never change their content. A lot of like let's say commentary channel, like I guess if like even if their channel's like stagnating, they don't change it. And you don't really need to unless you feel have a need, I guess. You
Yeah.
know. Hmm. It's kind of a thing. It's like the YouTube meta. I always thought like all the YouTube meta bits are like really interesting to look at because like that's like the biggest platform to even like have kind of a personality in general because you can't have a personality on google.com, which is like there's only like a few websites that are even bigger than YouTube.
Yeah.
Like which one? Yeah. So it's really just like I don't know. So yeah, so how do you feel about like the video essay like field in general? Since you made one, I feel like you have like a at least like a little bit of a knowledge of like the platform or like passion for like the channels that you like got inspiration from. So what was your dynamic with that?
Yeah. I fucking love the video essay. Like, the more pretentious, the better. Like, I'll see like comments on like on YouTube or on Reddit about the video. Like, oh, I hate how he changed. Like, he's so pretentious now, and and
I'm like
and it's like
yes,
I just love that.
yes,
There's
more
there's something
pretentious.
about it when someone like goes one like do you know Super eyepatch Wolf?
Yeah,
Yeah. In his videos, he like always puts in these pauses and really accentuates everything like it's the most important thing in the world. And I keep seeing him ridiculed for that, but I love that because it's got something about that appeals to me.
the structure of it, like the making the have everything have the importance that like he thinks it deserves.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I could see like the appeal of that. I do think that like I do say that like eyepatch Wolf does it like very well, but I am one more for like quick pacing. But I think that eyepatch Wolf really like the part I like about his content is that he goes over like the specific like appeal of the media to himself mostly. It's like a lot of the video essays it's like go through like all right, here's the details about this thing that like are cool, and like that's cool, but getting more in depth into the because it's about the creator, right? That's what
Yeah,
the appeal of YouTube is. Like no matter how much YouTube wants to say, it's like just like the shoving content down the throat of whoever will take it. It's
yeah,
yeah, it's the people who like are behind it. So like with the Dragon Ball Z video, right? He says that like him when he was young, like everybody who watched Dragon Ball Z had like this like yeah, you don't notice it at the time, but you're like okay, I kind of like wanna be this character. I relate to this character in a way. It's like oh
yeah.
Goku's so cool. I want to be a Super Saiyan.
Hmm.
And I think that like fleshing that out and putting that into like a form where it's like you know explained thoroughly and given context and just like generally just like stated like frankly is like just to say like yeah, this is like why this is the appeal of the thing that we like. Even
Hmm.
that much is just like very great for the landscape of just like media because it's like a lot of people just go over yeah, here's just the media and here's why it's important to the whatever history, and then here's what it did different than just go to bed, huh, what it's like
Yeah,
like it's
it's
cool.
like the purely factual review is like
Yeah.
there's value in that if you just want to know if something is good or not.
Hmm.
But like it the personal part is what I really like. It's like this pretentious making everything bigger than it actually is that just does it.
in a way, like making everything bigger than it actually is, it's like it kind of helps your point in a way, because it's like, okay, why, like, in a way, it's like, why does this matter? Like, in the back of your mind, you're like, why should I care? Even if you don't
Yeah.
think, oh, even if you don't think like that, it's like, that's the whole point of an audience, right? Like, you need to grab them. Giving everything this kind of importance already, like, helps you, like, achieve that in a way. It's like, okay, this is why it's important, because I'm showing you through, like, this editing, this, you know, music choice, this, like, this script, right? Like, it's everything just, like, goes together to be like, all right, here's something that's important, and like, all right, I'm willing to listen, you know. I think that, like, the Eyepatch Wolf is definitely, like, you know, one of the better examples, because he, like, captured the lightning in the bottle, essentially, and plus he, like, puts out good content, like, yeah, and he got 1 million subs recently. I think it was recently. So
Yeah,
it was kind of crazy
he did.
to see.
Deserved.
Yeah, it's like kind of crazy to see how, like, a content that good can be that successful, like, especially, like, in the modern YouTube landscape, the hellhole that it is.
Yeah, I mean that's like putting out a video like once a month. That is like is, I mean that's why everyone has a Patreon, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Because like putting out a video once a month doesn't really do well for your YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's like a shame. It's really just like YouTube is built on not only, like, you know, frequent uploads, but it's built on momentum, right? Momentum and trending. So like the trending is like part of the momentum. So it's like, this is why people get stuck in the same content holes, because it's like you make one thing that's, oh, let's just, again, I used I don't want to date this thing because it's a podcast, but actually it's the whole point of a podcast to be dated, right? To be like, all right, here's what was happening at this point, right? So let me just
sure.
yeah. So I guess, like, Dream, right? Dream. You make a video on, like, oh, here's Dream and Dream X and Dream Y, and, you know, you try to use, you know, whatever, like, you know, you try to talk about whatever, like, like, whatever issue was happening that week or whatever, and and that's like, okay, that attracts a lot of people who are, like, interested in, like, okay, what happened, or like, what's your take on it, or whatever the fuck. And then you keep going about that, and you say, all right, who's the next person, and who's the next person, who's the next person, and eventually, like, they're not coming to you for you, but they're coming to you for, like, if nothing else, to, like, reaffirm their opinion about that thing, or to just, like, maybe get a new take on that thing, or, you know, it's not about, like, what you think about it, it's about just, like, the thing, you know?
Yeah. There's so many videos that I see pop up on my recommended, like from 100 subscriber channels that are just hit someone, like, for example, like the Dream, oh, is Dream cheating? Topic. 100 subscribers talks about that topic, and that video has fucking 100,000 views.
Yeah. And then they just, like, no one ever comes back, because it's, like, the one thing.
Yeah.
The one thing people come for. And it's like, yeah, you got your 100, like, I can't say anything, because I, like, as much as I, like, I love, like, shitting on people, I don't like, not shitting on people, but, like, you know, as much as I like criticizing the concept of, like, oh, here's trending topic, like it works, and that's the, like, the sad part of it. Like, there's no reason to, like, the thing you have to do is, like, what Donkey does is, like, you infuse your own personality into X trending subject. Like, oh, Cyberpunk is going wrong right now. How do I make myself the you know, the different factor? You know, anyone could report, oh, you know, CD Projekt Red is having some shitty times, but, you know, what are you adding to it? That's, like, always a thing, right?
Yeah. Right. People come to Donkey's video for Donkey, not because of the whatever topic he's talking about.
Yeah. Like, you can make a Gex video, and then people will be, like, quoting Gex because, like, he made such a funny joke out of, like, how exaggerated the stupid ass, like, celebrity quote memes are, right? Like, that's the kind of thing. That's the kind of thing that a lot of people like, and it seems that, like, if you aim for that, you'll have, after a while, you might be able to make yourself, like, scrape up a few more, like, denser success than just having, like, okay, you know, here's a topic, you know?
Yeah.
You ever look at the YouTube trending page?
I never.
I'm gonna do it like
Because
literally right now.
because since I'm located in Germany, I get German trending videos, and it's all awful.
Yep. If I wonder if I have a VPN, right? So I kind of wonder what happens if I set it to like all these different countries. Like, what will I see? I'm sure I'll see like the generic like same. There's like the YouTuber style, you know. You at this point, there's like a YouTuber style. We all
Yeah.
we all know it when we watch a video. We all like feel it, but it's kind of hard to describe it, you know.
Yeah, YouTube. Oh, here's YouTube has conditioned me to like ignore clickbait, because like the videos with like clickbait thumbnails are always bad.
Yeah.
I and Speaking of Game Grumps earlier, they switched. I don't know if they still have it, but they switched their thumbnails to be more clickbaity
Let me see.
a while back.
Okay.
And after they did that, I like a few weeks later, I realized I haven't seen a Game Grumps video in like ages.
Oh my God,
And-
you're right.
yeah, and I look on their channel and it's like, oh, that's why I completely tuned them out, because it's all clickbait thumbnails.
Yeah. Wow. I know, because that's the thing. The thing is, like with Game Grumps, I subscribed. Like I unsubscribed a while ago. I just can't do Let's Plays anymore, and I'm like
Yeah.
like I can't even like hate on like them because they're generally still as pretty alright. But I just it's not my thing anymore. That's just the general gist. I kind of grew out of it, right? And
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah, pretty much a year ago they did that.
yeah, wow, it's been a while, huh? Because they used to have like the common like thing where they have just like face, and then they have like Game Grumps and whatever part, and it's like the game, and then like that like the orange checkerboard, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, all right, so because I think pretty sure they like hired somebody, like they hired somebody just like to do different thumbnails, and it's like I guess do what you got to do,
Yeah.
That's really good to say, like do what you got to do. It's kind of
Yeah, but
like
I tuned them out, and it's kind of a shame.
it is kind of a shame. That's the thing with like YouTube, you just like feel like, all right, here's the content. How do we make it so we can make everybody like? It's like there's a difference between marketing and there's a difference between like shilling, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like marketing is like, okay, here's like the clever way to make it like more appealing to the average consumer. And then there's like shilling or like shoving or whatever, where it's like, look at this thing, take it now. Look at this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, like you could feel it. Like
Yeah.
like 15. Like if you see somebody like posting 15 Among Us videos in a row, like okay, they're trying to hop on the wave. They're shilling or they're like shoving or whatever. And
Yeah. I wonder which of the 24 sudden Among Us YouTubers you're talking about.
1,000, like literally like back when Fall Guys was like the thing, like that was because it's like
That-
you
that
could
one
see,
month.
yeah, like for like that 1 month. Oh man, that was crazy. That like 1 month that fall, it was like pre Among Us revival or whatever.
Yeah, like Among Us just swooped in and took the cute, stubby characters and like did it better suddenly.
When was that? That was October, right? That was
Uh,
in October, September.
Yeah,
It
4 months ago. Yeah, around October.
It felt like a decade ago, man.
And Fall Guys.
A decade ago.
Fall Guys released in February. Okay, maybe that was longer.
Fall Guys released in February?
Apparently.
Really? Cause I haven't heard a peep about Fall Guys until like what, August or whatever, and then September it blew up, and then like by November it was gone. Nobody was playing. It's like, damn, man.
Yeah. That really was like just a few weeks of hype and then nothing suddenly.
I was like, oh man, should I buy this game? And then I was like, nah, I'll wait until like a different thing comes out, see if it still survives. And I'm like, damn, I was right. That shit did not last. $19 saved.
Yeah, it was fun for a time, but I don't know. They're all people kept saying it. The whole like the team games being awful, and they just the devs wouldn't listen. And I don't know if that's what killed the game, but it's definitely what killed the game for me. Because when like I used to like get to the final round at least pretty frequently, but when I died, it was on a team game every time.
I heard a lot about this team. Like whenever I watch a stream of it, I'm always like, "Damn, we really doing what's that fall ball again?"
Yeah, yeah, those games did get repetitive as well. That didn't help.
I think season 2 was just like a little bit too late, or that not that, and it didn't like go and actually like, fix the issues that people were like saying. And also, it's like a game you can't keep its relevance forever, but a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Let's see how long Among Us sticks around now that it's burning bright, or it started fading already. But
Yeah. It's because that's the thing. Another thing with online is like, yeah, a lot of these games like really get like pounded deep into our skulls by just like the content machine, and then we just get sick of them. We lash back. We're like, I'm not watching another thing on Among Us, even though the game's all right. It's pretty fun. It's like I'm sick of it. You know.
They burn too bright and then go out very quickly.
Yeah. It's fatigue.
Pretty much.
Fatigue, yeah. It's depressing because a lot of like, solid games just have that fatigue, But it happens.
Yeah, there's a few that have longevity. It's mostly games that came out a bit longer ago.
Yeah.
Like Counter-Strike has longevity, League of Legends, of course, Rainbow Six Siege,
Minecraft, obviously.
Minecraft. Yeah, I mean, Minecraft is a different beast, though, I think.
Minecraft is literally an industry now.
Yeah.
GTA 5.
It's GTA 5. I can't believe it. That's a good example of how to keep a game alive.
Yeah.
Like they pump out content like it's no one's business.
Yeah, because I mean it's Rockstar, They have
the resources to, right?
Yeah. That's kind of weird. The thing about like Rockstar used to be like a company, but now they're like the company,
Yeah.
You ever go back and play like the old GTA games? Not like old as in San Andreas old. I'm talking about GTA 1 and 2 old.
Yeah. Rockstar has been around for long enough to become one of the shitty ones.
Yeah, really. The company itself is like the age of like an adult, like over the age of an adult, like literally college graduate age, the company. Yeah. So in that time, they had all right, let's make GTA 1. All right, GTA 1 on fucking Game Boy. Let's go, baby. And then they're like, all right, GTA 2. All right, same thing, just make it better. GTA 3, bam, change the industry. Everyone wants to be GTA 3. All right, Vice City, bam. San Andreas, bam. You see that? You only make one San Andreas, dude. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy shit. It's like Rockstar is known for that one franchise, sure, but even like
and Red Dead.
Yeah, actually, the thing with Red Dead was like, all right, so Red Dead Revolver wasn't even like their franchise. I think
Redemption
bought it. I think, didn't they? Whatever. Red Dead Redemption was like a success. A hype game. It had like a solid amount of success. It wasn't like big. It wasn't tiny. It was like medium high. I guess medium high would be it. But Red Dead 2 became like the next GTA 5, and I don't know how they did that. It was like the hype or whatever. I don't know how they did all that.
I don't know if it would reach quite that same level because, of course, the online wasn't nearly as
good
playable as GTA 5's. Even GTA 5's online wasn't playable at the start, but
I mean, like we say like we're stretching the definition of playable because I mean like all the hackers and shit like I don't think it was good from the beginning. It was basically just like a crappy online experience, but like the longevity of it is really like the gist. It's like, all right, even if the game's like crappy, it's still fun. Like even if the online experience is crappy, it's still a fun game. And then, like, you can like deal with it because you want to play GTA with friends.
Yeah.
The gist of it. That's kind of like
Right.
the where it goes. Where it's like, what games will have longevity?
Hmm.
Fighting games depends on the fighting game, but a lot of fighting games have longevity, even if it's like not even like the most like revered one. It's like you can always throw out a game of, I don't know, Mortal Kombat 3, and someone will be like, oh shit, this is the game,
Yeah. Because fighting games only need like 2 people, and then you get a match.
But if you put out a game of, let's say, what's a random old game that like the Three Vikings? Is that 3-player? I don't remember. Crash Bandicoot Kart. Like, it's a good game, but like no one be like, oh man, I really like want to play Crash Team Racing because it's a.
Oh, now you've offended some people.
I love Crash Team Racing, but I'm serious. Like if you show like, okay, if you show Crash Team Racing to like, I don't know, just a regular ass teenager, they're like, okay, cool. Oh, well, cool game. Well, all right. And then you go Mario Kart, like, hey, let's go down with some Mario Kart. It's like, it's just like the franchise. You gotta have that longevity. I don't know why they never capitalized on like making. Did they make? No, they made other Crash Team races, right?
Ooh, I don't know actually.
I feel like they did, but they just.
I mean, they
did.
they did the recent one, the one for PS4.
Did they make a new one?
Yeah.
Wow, that's what's the weird. Like I don't know. Crash is like a franchise that didn't like last long though. It's kind of weird.
I mean, it's still going. Like, was
Crash 4
came
just out. Because people never thought Crash 4 would come out, so that's the thing. I'm like, all right, Crash 4 means like, all right, we got a chance, It's kind of like weird. Every franchise is gonna die eventually. That's how fucking human experience works, human life, whatever. But like, I don't see Pac-Man like giving up in its entirety anytime soon.
I mean, Pokemon is never gonna die.
No, no, it is not. It's a beast.
No, yeah, no one's gonna allow that one to die.
Unless like the entirety of like people less than the age of 18 just like suddenly just up and disappear one day, Pokemon's gonna be good. People, in fact, like there are people like literally in this server who are like Pokemon collector plushies, like merchandise. Like it's a big appeal. It's
next generation is gonna say, "Fuck you, Pokemon! I want to play Temtem."
Well, yeah, what if that happens though? What if that happens?
That'd be whack. And maybe finally we'd get a good Pokemon game again.
I doubt it. See, if anything would make a good Pokemon game, it'd be Digimon. Digimon would be like, all right, let's buckle down and make fucking. They really all right. What's that one they made on the Vita? The one they made on the Vita, like people are saying like that's a really good game, a solid game. Like it's not quite Persona fucking 5, but it's like pretty good.
I don't know if that's the one you're talking about. You mean Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played that. I couldn't get into it, honestly.
Yeah, I could see that. It's like, I feel like it's an acquired taste, like a JRPG. Like I don't know, it's like specific kind of like, what is it called? Yokai Watch. That could have been one too, where it's like, all right, let's, I think Yokai Watch kind of forced Pokemon to do a little bit of different thing. Like they kind of bit the more story based. I don't know if this affects them. Probably didn't. It's probably just like their direction.
I don't know, because Yokai Watch never really took hold in the West.
Yeah, but like in the because Japan usually stays like, all right, here's Japan. That's like, and like the West is like a side eye, like, oh yeah, a Steam port there, a Western character there, it's nothing big.
Yeah.
What's it called? I was gonna ask you specifically, what do you think about the Metal Gear Solid franchise?
I was never big on that, honestly. I've played Metal Gear Solid 5 and Metal Gear Rising.
Those because those are like the PC ones.
Yes.
Same reason I have 5.
I've never been a big console player.
That's true. I'm not really, because I think that a lot of the gaming experience is on PC, but not many people like really think about it. It's like in the background for a lot of people.
Yeah,
It's
because PC gaming has like a pretty big barrier to entry.
it depends
Like
on the one, but yeah.
what do you need to do if you want to play a console game? You buy the console, set it up, play the game. Right? If you want to get a PC, it, you probably want to build a PC first, get a good one, like, and then like look at the specs and buy the parts or buy a pre-made one, and then like, get a hassle with that, set it up and everything. Like there's utility to that as well because you can work on it afterwards.
Mm.
But like if someone just wants to play a game, it's just getting a PC for everything is quite a hassle, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's like there's a difference, but I think at this point, like they're kind of a little bit more even because it's like, all right, back in the SNES era, like of course, if you buy a giant MS DOS machine or God forbid, a fucking Japanese like Sharp 87 or PC 98 or some shit, like yeah,
Yeah.
you have a bit of a issue setting some stuff up, having to type in commands, console commands, and like discs and like all this other shit instead of just saying I want to play Donkey Kong Country, let me put in my cartridge and maybe plug in the cords if mom unplugged them because I was getting low grades. Like it was if you were like a kind of smart kid then you could handle it, like, but for a PC
Yeah.
like adults couldn't like figure that shit out. You know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
now
but if it just comes to playing a game, then console will always be easier.
yeah, because that's so that built custom for like that purpose. But
Yeah.
a little bit with PC now, it's like all right, consoles are a little bit more complex, right? Like
Mhm.
if you have a Switch, yeah, it's just like all right, the like amazingly simple interface, like it's like literally just like do. It's like basic fucking nothing.
Yeah.
You just plug in the game and that's it. But for like let's say PlayStation or like Xbox, you want to like especially with Xbox, like Xbox's interface, I kind of have an issue with. I have beef with it.
Yeah.
Because all these interfaces are like okay, they're not necessarily like the most clear, but you can like figure them out. The PS4 interface is like solid. You just like plug in the game, it just like teleports you. Here's the game. But you have to make these accounts to play online. Okay, you have to put in these like codes for like digital stores because you're not gonna buy like physical games anymore if you're like, you know, like a lot of people
Yeah.
don't buy physical games, especially now. I mean, obviously now, but you know, and with PC it's like the same thing. You have to okay, you have to know how to use Windows or what. Like you're gonna use Windows. Let's just be honest here. Like. Like anyone who's choosing between console and PC is like, all right, well, it's PC. It's not like maybe you could use Mac, maybe, but like no one's gonna use a
No.
fucking Linux, you know.
Linux. I mean, Linux gaming is getting there.
It's so close, but it's like it's just
It's not quite there. It's more a
experiment, really.
yeah, just pure trial and error.
What can we
And just
do?
hope-
Can it run?
yeah. Hoping for things to work and then getting frustrated because it doesn't.
It never does. Especially with like anti-cheat, that kind of fucks it up. If I want to play like fighters on a Linux system, I literally cannot. It's kind of shitty, I think.
Yeah.
But you know, yeah, but it's kind of a shame that like Metal Gear Solid, like what's it called, the Konami franchise that people like love, Metal Gear Solid and what's the other one, Silent Hill and say Castlevania, a few Castlevania games, like those didn't have like PC ports to the wazoo, because like because they just put Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 on GOG, and it's they're not even the best ports, but even having them like is better than nothing,
Yeah.
Yeah, but how did you get started with like PC gaming anyway? Because you said you have a gigantic Steam library.
Well, basically, I started off with consoles. It's been so long, but I can't remember if I had the SNES or the Game Boy Advance first. But that's what I played on the most, like Mario All Stars, Pokemon Blue Edition. Then I got a PS2 for my birthday at some point, together with Dragon Quest 8.
Ah.
And I played that for what feels like a year. And it was the best game.
Just in general.
Yeah, Dragon Quest 8. But if I want to play it now, it has to be on an emulator so I can speed up.
Yeah, the battles.
Yeah, it's otherwise it's too tedious.
Yeah, I feel you. I try to play early Dragon Quest games. It's like, dude, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, then around 14, I think I had what's that called in English? Like the confirmation for like where as where the Christian kids, the Protestants, like go to like. I don't know if that's a thing anywhere else but Germany. But we basically go when we're around 14 as a year where we go to like the special like church school every week, once a week, and have to like at least every other Sunday be in church and get like a stamp. And then at the end, there's a big celebration and we get a shit ton of money, which is why I did it. And with that shit ton of money, I built my first PC. And that's why I properly got started.
Yeah, what's it called? I think that you really have to have that kind of like one time. You're like, all right, here's I get a bunch of money at once. Now's the time I did that thing I always wanted to do, build a PC, because the same thing happened to me.
Yep.
Like either that or you just like really like scrape together some like money for some parts, and that's
it. Like before, I was just like occasionally playing on my dad's like truly terrible old PC in the basement. Like it took like 30 minutes for that PC to start up.
Oh my god, I remember those kind of PCs. Yeah, like in the like early Windows XP era, those kind of shitty things.
Yeah, like I want to play a game now. I went into the basement, turned on the PC, went back up, played a round of Dragon Quest on the PS2, and like look at the clock. Oh, okay, half an hour, it should be done by now, and then I go back down, and then it crashes, and I have to do it again.
Dude, that is exactly like how it used to be back when like PCs were just like, all right, here's just a PC just to have, maybe go on fucking a random website every once in a while, look at a picture, and then get off,
Yeah.
Oh, that takes me back. That takes me back, because it's like that's where flash games were like big,
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't run games. You couldn't like it wasn't for a gaming computer. You couldn't even like there was back when you didn't have games to like run. Like for now, you could go on Steam, you get Half-Life 1 or 2, you'll have a good time. You don't need like a gigantic PC, but like anything can run on those. But like those things are just like could barely run Solitaire.
Yeah.
Oof. That's kind of rough though. So I think that like, so did you like you just got like over time, or did you just have like one part where you just like rushed and say, I'm gonna buy a bunch of games this year? It was like
no, it was just over time. Like I've had my account since let me check. Where's the badge?
Gotta be a while. Cool.
Where did the badge go?
It's on like the settings.
Okay, I'll find it.
Yeah, what happened? What happened?
Kind of like 2011 at least. Yeah, and then just over time, like always doing sales. I would go to the local lotto shop, buy some prepaid cards, like PaySafe, and then just
go
pumped up and then bought a few games on sale.
Yeah, man, those Steam sales do that, man.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And what also helped when I bought my first graphics card, I don't even remember. Like there was Half-Life 2, then the episode 1 and 2, and Half-Life Lost Coast and Portal 2. They were all included with that graphics card.
Like wait, disc or like with a code or something?
With the Steam code.
Okay. Yo, yeah, because Steam was like in like 2004, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, man. It's because they made Steam basically just like, all right, here's the Half-Life 2 thing you have to install, and they were like, okay, well, why not?
Yeah, it's basically the fucking Orange box was included.
Basically, Wax didn't have the Half-Life 2 DLC in the Orange box, did they?
I'm not sure.
I know they had Episode 1 and 2. I don't think they had Lost Coast.
Yeah. No, Lost Coast. I don't think was in there.
But yeah.
Yeah, those were my first games. Oh, and Half-Life Deathmatch as well.
Oh man,
that was awful.
You want to elaborate on how that was awful?
Because my internet was very, very, very bad back then.
Like dial-up was like blushing on how good it was compared to that.
No, not quite that. Well, when I downloaded something on Steam, it would be with like 40 kilobytes per second.
Oh.
So when I had to download anything, I would leave my PC on overnight.
No, oh my god, I feel that when I had to do fucking GTA 5. I was like, all right, well, it's gonna take a few days for this one.
Yeah, but like for like Portal 2.
Yeah, Portal 2 is like what, a couple of gigs now.
I think it's 8.
Yeah, that was back in the day when like gigabytes were like terabytes for us, you know.
Oh yeah, and I had to leave my PC on overnight and then also like leave it running for the half of the next day.
Well, I'm saying it better than work. Did it? How? My question is, how well did it run?
Oh, well, my PC was good, so it ran.
So like, what's it called? You had like you had the works, you know, you had the mid 2000s, you know, that's early 2010s, like beefed up PC.
Yeah, it was like 2011, 2012, I think.
There's like what was the experience? Because I see like a lot of people like when they build PCs, like a certain like feeling you get, you know. And you.
Well, that PC I didn't build. I had like I picked the parts and then let the built PC be delivered.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like when you have like you look at the parts and you like look, all right, here's the specs and here's like the price, you know, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and that one had issues. During delivery, probably it knocked out one of the cables, and it's like loose, and I couldn't figure out why my PC kept blue screening.
It's because the fan.
I don't think it was. I don't know.
Yeah, it was far back.
It's been a while.
It really doesn't matter at this point. But yeah, that's true. Because you have like with PCs, you do have a lot of more like, you know, minor issues. You gotta like know a few more things if you want to upkeep it. You know.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. So I guess since you're like a PC gamer, how do you feel? Oh yeah, and you seem like a big fan of Dragon Quest specifically, right?
Yes.
You can tell by the profile picture. Yeah.
Yes.
So I guess first of all, how are you feeling about the Dragon Quest 11 port that happened?
I love it. I've had a lot of fun with Dragon Quest 11 already, and I bought it twice. Once on PC and once like the Switch Enhanced Edition came out. I bought it there as well. I haven't finished it there yet, and I haven't finished because around the time it came out, I was just getting to the after credits, like the past credits chapter that every Dragon Quest game has. I was grinding up for that boss, and then the Switch version, the Enhanced Edition, was announced, and I was like, okay, I'll drop this and play it on the Switch instead. I haven't touched it much yet.
I hate when that happens, but I also kind of like when that happens because they improve a game. But it's also like, damn, you really just had to like throw me out like that.
Yeah, but it's like, give me more Dragon Quest, please.
Yeah, that's true. You know, you always want more franchise you like, you know.
Yeah.
So you said your first one was 8?
Yes.
Did you like
Journey of the Cursed King?
Yeah, the PS2 one. Oh, I want to play that one day. There's a 3DS port, wasn't there?
Yes.
Oh man, that sounds interesting.
There was, but it has also extra content and stuff. But the big thing is, it doesn't have the orchestral soundtrack anymore. It has MIDIs.
Ooh, yeah, they couldn't fit it in the cartridge, could they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and
that's what I think it is. Because I don't know for sure.
That's
and it just robs the game of so much personality.
Yeah.
That's what was the Dragon Quest 11S. Did that one include the orchestral? I
I
can't even
think
remember.
they added it back in for 11S, didn't they? Oh no, certain versions of 11 didn't have it, and I think 11S added it back in, or yeah, I think they did. I think the PS4 version didn't have it. That's what
I can't remember.
yeah, there was an issue with like the MIDI version and the orchestral version.
Oh yeah, the orchestral soundtrack is included with the S version.
Yeah. Can you switch back and forth?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, because like it's kind of weird they didn't give you an option for like the old version. But whatever.
Yeah, but the orchestral soundtrack just does so much for the game.
Because a lot of the appeal of Dragon Quest is like its production value, right?
Kind of. It's more like the world.
Yeah.
The world and the characters.
Well, yeah, I guess it's like, it's like Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest are on that same kind of thing, but like they go about their like, RPG different ways. Like Dragon Quest is like the formula, and then Final Fantasy is like always changing to a T, no matter what.
Right. Yeah, Final Fantasy keeps trying to like one up itself and be more and change according to the times, while Dragon Quest just it sticks to the more. I mean, more not recently, not so much, but like it tries to stick to the formula.
Yeah.
Like 11 is a return to formula. 9, of course, was the what were the angels.
Yeah.
That one was weird because it had no characters. It was all dress up dolls.
It was mostly because like they wanted to be an MMO.
That's what Dragon Quest 10 was.
No, but like Dragon Quest 9 had like online features they focused on a lot too.
It had a few, but I never interacted with those when I played it.
Yeah, at the time I played it, I don't even think they were like up anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of it's a little bit of rush.
Yeah, but I didn't like 9 particularly because like all your party members are just nobodies.
Yeah.
Nobodies without a character to speak of. And then like coming from Dragon Quest 8 with like these 4 characters or 5 characters, like just oozing personality left and right. It was just kind of a disappointment.
You can just see it from the designs, how the party looks. You can see like how big like the characters are for each one,
Yeah.
Especially for like 8, because 8 was like, all right, here's the PS2, right? The PS1 was like had discs, but this one has a lot of disc storage. You could have all this like orchestral soundtrack, you have all this graphic, all this people, all this stuff and thing.
Yeah.
And then you go back to like, cartridge and like, all right, here's just like a bunch of Akira Toriyama like knockoffs or whatever. Just, I don't know, put them in a party. Who cares?
Yeah. It was nice being able to design them, but man, give me characters, please.
I could see that. I could feel that. But I want to ask, like, since you're a Dragon Quest fan, as a Dragon Quest fan, what's your favorite SpongeBob season?
Oh, I don't fucking know. I don't have no concept of SpongeBob seasons because I only ever watched them when they were on TV.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no clue which season was airing at that time.
So what about like episodes? Do you remember any of
them? I mean, I remember like bits and pieces.
It's like a fuzzy memory.
Yeah, I'm honestly not too big on SpongeBob.
I can feel that. I feel you. Even though obviously I'm not like, I'm in disagreement. Like, okay, I definitely do feel SpongeBob, but I feel you. Like, okay, opinions exist, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was your favorite Final Fantasy? Since you like Dragon Quest, I feel like you have an opinion on it.
I have not played many Final Fantasy games. Hey. I've played Final Fantasy Tactics. And now I'm gonna have to look up which the other ones were that I played. Because 5. I played 5.
Okay.
On the game, was it on the Game Boy?
Probably.
I think so. Yeah. I played that. I think that's it. Even.
Wow. See, I'm assuming that like you always like you mentioned the Steam library. Like I feel like they have a few ported on Steam. I'm like, okay, you must have like at least one or two just lying around.
No, I don't own a single Final Fantasy game on Steam.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of funny. It's like I was like, out of all the games they're not on Steam, like okay, well you probably would own like a famous JRPG series like Final Fantasy.
No. I like honestly, like Dragon Quest and Persona are like the only JRPGs I can stand. Like I'm playing Ni no Kuni for the first time, and that one's all right. It's like baby's first JRPG kind of.
Like I know what you mean, but it's like the way you describe baby's first JRPG.
Yeah, it's nice, but I'm not entirely feeling it
Yeah, it's like
because
a
like
JRPG.
all the battles they lack impact.
It's like
And you
JRPG
got
for
these little
people who watch Ghibli movies, basically.
yeah.
Okay.
That's why I got it. Even and just like, having these like tiny monsters like swipe at the enemy and then damage numbers pop up. Like it's missing the impact.
Yeah.
You know, like in Persona 4 is my favorite game of all time, and mostly because of the characters. But even in combat, like when you get a critical and the monster gets knocked down, you just really feel, oh, I did something that did a lot of damage just now. Like you can tell.
Like, so you have Persona 4 is your favorite game in general.
Yes.
Damn. So I want to hear your opinions on that because you're gonna be inevitably gonna make a video on that one eventually. But I kind of want to hear some, preliminary stuff. Like because obviously I think Persona 4 is like a really big, JRPG like moment. Or like a lot of people just like say, all right, that's the one. That's the one we're gonna like. That's the one we gotta look out for. That's why Persona 5 was kind of like really hyped back when it first was like revealed and like all that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do you like about it?
It came at a time when like I was in uni studying, and like kind of like it was after school, so I kind of lost contact with my friends there, and then in uni I couldn't. I made some new friends, but none really close. And then one of my uni friends just suggested Persona to me, and I've never heard of it. And then she just gave me like Persona 3 for PS2. I was like, all right, break out my PS2 again, play Persona 3, bored out of my mind. Next day, I give it back to her. And she's like, if you don't like it, like try Persona 4 at some point. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And like months later, I'm like, okay, I am very bored, so get PS2 emulator and get PS4 Persona 4. And I just fall in love with the game. Just mostly because I can speed up the annoying bits, but also because just the characters that the game makes you feel like you have friends, and that was at the time was just a big thing.
Yeah, I feel that it's like really personal kind of connection with these characters.
Yeah, and the whole thing they do about like accepting the bad parts of yourself and stuff like that. I feel like that helped me with my personal growth as well. So it just hit all the right spots at just the right time.
So this is the PS2 version emulator.
Yes.
And this was like
Yes,
after it came out, like years after.
Yeah, like 3.5 years ago, something around that time. That's when I played it.
So
And yeah, and then afterwards I went back and played Persona 3 on emulator to speed up through the annoying bits and enjoyed it a lot more. And then I played Persona 5 on the PS3 emulator that wouldn't run properly. I played the whole game on like 10 FPS.
Man.
It was awful. One of the most painful experiences I've ever had. And still the game, I would still say that game is my second favorite of all time.
Damn. Like still through all of the like even like through like the low quality, like all this shit is still like that good, huh?
Yeah.
I could fit because I do figure like yeah, Persona 5 is like a really like popular game at this point, like one of the most like beloved JRPGs ever created. So obviously like it's gonna be good, and I'll probably like it whenever it doesn't get ported to PC.
It is ported to PC.
Persona 5.
Oh, that one.
Because I was saying Persona 4, I bought that the day one, literally the same like the
Yeah.
second it came out. Cause yeah.
Same. And I've only played 10 hours of it. I've played through Persona 4 itself like 3 times already. So when Persona 4 Golden came out, I bought it, wanted to play it, got 10 hours, and I was like, okay, I've done all this shit before, and
Yeah.
I'm
Especially with
I'm
like
just
the
gonna peace
beginning
out.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna like if I stick with the premise of only my Steam library, then I'm gonna absolutely use that as an excuse to talk about the PS2 version.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you thought I'm gonna talk about Persona 4 Golden? Ha, fuck you! I'm gonna talk about Persona 4 Original.
Persona 4 Basic. Persona 4 Bronze.
Yeah.
So you said you like Persona 3 when you came back to it?
Yeah.
Did you finish
I
it?
did. Yes, I did. Only once though.
Only once. PS2 version or PSP?
Yes, PS2.
Okay.
So I could use the emulator to speed through.
So what about the like controlling the party members thing? Because I know it's like a really like
Yeah, not being able to do that after coming from Persona 4 was annoying. And afterwards, like so many memes about one of your party members only using the charm spell Marin Karin.
yep.
It's like, I feel the pain.
It happens all the time, and I genuinely like I'm like, it makes me mad. But I don't know, like the PSP version, it's like a double-edged sword. I want them to make it's not maybe even like a remake, but I want them like to fix Persona 3 where it's like, all right, here's the anime cutscenes you worked hard on and the 3D movements or whatever, and then here's like the Persona 4 battle system, and here's controlling your goddamn party members. Bring that in your game.
Yeah. I mean, that was a thing in the PSP version, right?
Yeah, it was, but it's like you kind of lose some of the Persona 3 magic if you don't have all those like anime cutscenes and all like the 3. I don't know. It's like the same game, but you like the visual novel aspect is kind of like different. So I don't know. A lot of people may not like it.
Yeah.
I do say that. Actually, I genuinely think that the visual novel parts kind of aged better because the character portraits like and the background art just like generally just like age better than like the 3D PS2 renders or what the fuck. But yeah. But yeah, a lot of JRPGs are very just like personal games to people.
Mm-hmm.
And
There's so many I just couldn't get into, like that were like hyped up like nothing else. Like Octopath Travelers, I couldn't get into. Bravely Default, I just couldn't.
yeah, because like
There's
it depends on the
few
gameplay.
others. Yeah,
It just
like Bravely Default was like really cool with the where you can store up turns to like do 5 actions in one turn.
yeah, I remember that mechanic.
That was cool. Something I just couldn't.
I don't know.
I just couldn't get into
It's,
it.
it's kind of
Wasn't my
rough.
thing. And that's the thing. Like I usually don't like JRPGs, but for like if I had to rank them, 4 of my top 5 games of all time are JRPGs.
That's what I think, and like every time that it's always hurts because like JRPGs have like the potential to be like, well, I don't know. It's like a double-edged sword, right? It's like if you get the gameplay right, doesn't matter, good game. But if you get the gameplay like it's like okay, turn-based, boring ass JRPG. Like okay, I'm sleeping through it, but it's also like the characters, the world, the storyline, the music. God, the music, like that's what gets you.
That's one thing I'm enjoying about Ni no Kuni is you can like during the battle, you can move your character around freely, and except for certain spells that are guaranteed to hit, you can like move out of the way of enemies' attacks to make them miss.
The interaction.
Yeah,
That makes sense for a
Like,
lot of games.
like that's cool. I remember Dragon Quest XI had you could move around as well, but enemies would hit either way. So like walking around was purely for style.
Just like walk in a circle just because you want to.
Yeah, just turn it off to instead have the cinematic camera angles instead.
Yeah, it's specifically for like older JRPGs. It's mostly just like based on menuing and all that, right?
Hmm.
So having like the ability to like move around just adds a little like anything, just a little bit of something, just like to make you have some kind of interaction, not be bored during the fucking game.
Yeah.
That's why I think like the best JRPGs are like Mother 3 and like maybe like the like action RPG-ish ones and Persona, because like they have a lot more. Their battles are not only like they're more dynamic. Like even if they are turn based, they're more dynamic.
Hmm.
What's it called? That's the thing with like a lot of earlier JRPGs. They just didn't have like the storage size to be anything but like, all right, here's just like, okay, turn, attack.
Hmm.
So yeah. Other than like, what are your favorite games in general? Like, yeah, I've asked about like your
Yeah.
favorite types of games, but like your favorite games.
Well, the three modern Persona ones
Mm-hmm.
up there, then Dragon Quest. Uh, then I'm starting to struggle.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to
'Cause,
remember.
I mean, Half-Life 2
Hmm.
always have a place in my heart. Portal 2 as well.
Good games, yeah.
Stardew Valley is one I come back to every now and again to just do a full playthrough until I reach the end game. Just because it's like a good time waster, right?
Yeah.
What else? I'm enjoying Warhammer Vermintide 2. That one is fun. It's a good Left 4 Dead replacement.
Wait, which game?
Vermintide 2.
I think I've heard of it. How do you spell that one? Vermintide?
Like vermin, like rats and shit, and
Oh,
then
okay.
tide, like a wave.
Yeah, I've seen it around. Left 4 Dead replacement, really?
Yeah, it's because it is Left 4 Dead, but you melee more than you shoot,
Oh. Okay,
and
yeah, I guess you're right.
and you fight Warhammer Skaven and Chaos Warriors.
I actually, yeah, it looks pretty interesting. Actually, uh,
It's so good.
man, I didn't think that because Left 4 Dead is like the one. There's like not with Valve games, like a lot of them don't have like really replacements necessarily.
Yeah, I mean Vermintide has a lot of problems, but I enjoy it just for the visceral gameplay.
This,
Like
this hammer.
the melee combat is like actually it feels good. It's meaty, and when you like swing a big warhammer on top of someone's head, and the head explodes, like it feels correct.
It makes you feel like you're swinging around a hammer, right?
Yeah, like the melee in Left 4 Dead 2 is just you swing, 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 and it just goes through, and stuff dies.
Dun, 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 dun.
But in Vermintide, like if there's a like imagine there's two small enemies on the left, two small enemies on the right, and then there's one big armored one in the middle. Like if you swing your sword from the left, you kill the two on the left, get stopped at the one in the middle, and the two on the right are fine.
Damn, that's like what's it called? More complex like melee combat then.
Yeah.
Like it's denser then. Yeah, yeah. I could see I could see the appeal of that because a lot of the like thing of melee combat is usually done crappy in games because like a lot of the it just doesn't have weight, not as many like because they
Hmm.
focus on the gun sound like the weight of the reloading, but like with melee just like swing around whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But with a lot of so I feel like a lot of games could use something like that with a lot more like hefty, bigger, weighty weapons.
Yeah. And you have some ranged weapons, but the ammo is very limited.
Yeah. I guess that like has a focus, so because you have like, all right, here's what's it called, Warhammer, not Warhammer, but like
Yeah, and there's like room to like there's a high skill ceiling as well because like once you figure out like dashing, dodging, uh, blocks and blocked bashes, like once you get all those down, you can like take no damage while running through the game
Is it
with like
like
hordes of enemies.
what's it called? Single player, multiplayer, and do they have PvP?
Uh, n- no,
So it's like
but there's
Left 4 Dead.
friendly fire on high difficulties.
You have like just like PVE.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've been like saying, or they said like 2 years ago that they would add a versus mode, like in Left 4 Dead, where
Did they?
one can play the special, not infected, but like the special rats.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the specials are like some of them are just straight ripped from Left 4 Dead, of course.
Great.
It's the assassin is just the hunter.
They have a boomer.
The globadier is just the spitter.
The tongue
But the red ogre is just a tank.
They have just, you just like you go. So basically, you're an exterminator. You're like a big exterminator with a hammer.
Pretty much, yeah.
That sounds sweet. That's like
And
literally
you
Mario
got
Brothers.
five different classes, five different. The first one you only had the five characters: the dwarf ranger, human knight, and a witch hunter, a witch, and an elf. Like those were just the basic class, but in the second one, each one got like three subclasses.
Three subclasses. So you get to like have like a lot more customization.
Yeah, you can really pick how you like to play because like every character is like a more ranged class, a tank class, and then some kind of special class.
But you basically all use melee stuff.
Yeah, I mean the ranged classes they like you can get talents for those that like on headshot refund your ammo. Right, so as long as you hit headshots, you can keep firing and be a ranged character.
That's cool. That's pretty cool. That's like what like games with like you have like flow. You don't have to worry about like ammo. If you do, it's like if you do X thing, then you get ammo, and then you can just keep doing X thing, and that means you're like good at the game. That's cool to me.
Yeah, I mean you're not always going to be able to do that because like the specials and hordes have a real nice way of getting close.
But I mean, they give you the option though.
Yeah.
And I guess it has like the dynamics of like your team comp or whatever.
Hmm.
So here,
Yeah,
how
there's
does that-
definitely some like there's one class for the dwarf, the Iron Breaker. They all have ultimates, of course, as every game does nowadays.
Yeah.
Its ultimate is a big taunt. The big taunt and his block stamina doesn't go down during that time. So when a horde comes, he can just use his ult, put his shield up, and just wait it out while everyone else takes out the horde.
And this is like, what's it called? Wait, this is the second game, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever play the first?
Yeah, I did. I did play a lot of it actually, but the second one is just it takes everything the first one did and makes it better.
The ironic thing is, I think like Left 4 Dead 2 was not as beloved as Left 4 Dead 1.
Is that so?
I don't know. It just depends on the day with a lot of people. But I guess like a lot more people just have Left 4 Dead 1, so it's like, yeah.
No.
But yeah, it's kind of just like, it's kind of interesting to think that like Left 4 Dead even have. Cause I mean, I guess there are just like games that you fight a horde of this X thing, but
Yeah.
It's kind of like an irreplaceable kind of like, it's like a structure you can have, but it's like I don't know. I didn't really think of that. Oh, many other games were like Left 4 Dead. I was like, okay, Left 4 Dead's just Left 4 Dead, and Left 4 Dead's dead.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame.
Yeah, I mean, Back for Blood is coming to take its throne.
Literally,
Right.
it's like Left 4 Dead but bootleg.
I mean, it's the original team.
Yeah. It's kind of like crappy that they have to like literally, it's like, all right, here's a new company because Valve won't let us make our game, or it won't work out that good with Valve, or well, actually they tried to make the game, but it's like, okay, well, it's just not working with the production they have there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame. I feel like with the if the Valve didn't own like the PC game like market basically, like do you think all their games would be as remembered as they are? Like of
Uh,
course they are.
I think so.
You would?
Yeah, because their games are just good, just straight up.
Yeah.
There's no two ways around it.
Because I think like if Left 4 Dead 2 was, let's say, on fucking Epic game launcher, right?
Mhm.
Then I guess they still would be there, but they wouldn't be like, Left 4 Dead for like what 50 cents or whatever, like they have it on like these Steam sales.
Yeah,
That's how like a lot of people remember them. Like, okay, I have these in my Steam library, just like without even thinking about it. Like, oh, I have it.
yeah. I mean, who doesn't own Left 4 Dead at this point?
Yeah.
On Steam.
Who doesn't own Left 4 Dead? Who definitely doesn't own Half-Life 2? Literally the most like owned game.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a obligatory. It's like implied. Like you have this game.
Oh, you cut off there.
Oh, it's like implied that like, you basically have this game. You automatically just like have Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
It's kind of yeah. But I think that yeah, even if it was like a different game launcher, yeah, they would be remembered games. Obviously, like yeah, Half-Life 2 is like one of the most legendary games ever created. Like
Yeah.
yeah, but
I mean, we're looking kind of at that scenario at the moment with all those Epic exclusives.
it kind of calmed down this year or last year.
Yeah. I mean, there's still a few that fucking bug snacks.
Bugsnax
Epic
is Epic exclusive.
Yeah, piss me
I
off.
didn't even know it was on PC. That's how bad it was. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. I refuse to use Epic.
No,
It's
yeah.
just I don't the whole shit they pulled, it felt scummy.
Yeah.
And it's not something I want to deal with.
So the only reason I have Epic is just to run GTA 5 because it was free. I was like, I don't feel like paying $15 for a game that's like gonna launch in a different launcher anyway.
Yeah, the free games are nice, but like I'm not gonna get Epic
Yeah.
because it feels like they're a scummy company, and I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, because it's like the thing with like Epic is like they don't go for like they do go for the AAA games, but most of the time they're like, all right, here let's take this indie game that had a little bit of hype and then just like shit on like make the developers like have to deal with that.
Yeah, and like all the exclusivity deal money the indie devs get, of course, is
Like,
also
yeah, you can't refuse.
it's yeah. I'm not. Uh,
It's a rough situation. It's like bad.
yeah, it's like, do you take the entire PC market and maybe a profit or guaranteed profit?
Yeah.
It's like,
And the thing is like the sad part is like when you think about the long term benefits, like if your game was good enough, then you'd be like, all right, so we have to put it on Steam because we want because like with Hollow Knight, imagine if Hollow Knight was a Epic Games exclusive, right? There would be like all right amount of sales, and then they have like a ton of like they would get their profit back, but this like masterpiece of a game or whatever that people love and adore, like it's stuck on this platform that nobody likes using unless they're like Fortnite, and then Fortnite players wouldn't use that because they don't really care about like artsy indie games or Metroidvanias or whatever. Like you have to have like a different kind of market for like Epic.
yeah,
If you're making like a FPS game or a third person fucking open world Ubisoft ass game, then yeah, you could see, all right, so Epic Games would probably be a good place because a lot of people who, already are on that platform would play this game. But with Steam, it's like, all right, so literally everybody else is there, so why limit my game,
yeah.
So it's really just about like, all right, so how much of this can we afford to potentially lose? How confident are we in the quality of this game? How how well is the marketing? It's a lot of aspects you got to think about, but mostly it's just like, is it worth it? Is it worth the pay they're gonna give us? And considering like I don't know how much they even get paid, I'm just gonna say like fucking I don't know, maybe $100,000. Let's say, why not? Just a random number.
Well, what I heard is that it pretty much makes up the development cost.
Okay.
Like, it almost like they don't need to sell much anymore to make a profit.
So yeah, like maybe like 100K, 20K, something like that. Well, I guess it depends on the developer.
knows?
But
Yeah.
so because I guess the developer would be able to, I guess, counter offer, wouldn't they? They probably could,
Yeah.
but
I mean, it's enough for a lot of developers to accept getting hate from gamers TM.
yeah, gamers. You know, the word gamers always like has gone down as like, something you just don't want to be called anymore.
Oh, I'll stick by that. You know what they call me? You know what they call me?
Call you? What do they call you?
They call me the ultimate gamer.
Oh, the ultimate gamer.
Yeah.
They call me
Yeah.
the super. They call me the ultra gamer.
Yep.
Yeah,
Nah, just the ultimate.
the ultimate. Oh,
Yeah, the ultimate gamer, because I'm ascended. I'm above the gamers TM.
I'm above the concept of gamer.
Yeah,
I'm done.
yeah.
The gamer.
It's a career path, right? And at the very end, like at hardcore gamer, it splits off as you got zealous gamers, professional gamers, and then the ultimate gamer on the other side.
It's not just gamer. Gamer is a title. This is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Man, that's something. It'll happen.
Yeah.
It'll happen. Well, so let's just talk about life right now. We got to always have that function where we just talk about life, right? We're talking about games. Let's talk about life. Yeah.
Let's talk about life.
What's what's your view on life? What's your philosophy? If I ask what's your philosophy, will you have an answer? That's my question.
I guess just somewhere between live and let live and treat others how you'd want to be treated.
It's a good way to be. You know? It's like
It's like the one thing I took away from the huge amount of religion classes you take in 2010 Germany.
yeah. Do they still force people to do that, or is it like optional?
It's still, I think it's still required for schools to have religious education as a subject.
Huh.
But now since since our biggest like secondary population group is Turkish people, sometime in the last decade they said, okay, you can now also like alternatively choose philosophy instead.
Ooh.
So
interesting.
you have to have either religious education or philosophy.
That is I guess that's an interesting way to go about it.
Yeah.
In a way, like
I mean,
isn't
at this
religion a philosophy?
point,
Oh, what'd you say?
at this point, they're pretty much indistinguishable because, like, I'm just finishing up my apprenticeship at the moment, and in vocational school, we also still had to have religion as a subject, and our teacher was just basically like, and even in our equivalent of high school, we didn't really talk about religion much. It was mostly just like how to live as a good person.
I guess that's like I was gonna say, like, isn't like religion just like a philosophy in general, right?
It is, but like it's given more value.
Yeah, it's a different kind of that's really a lifestyle in a way.
Yeah.
So I guess like in the different ways, like, all right, here's, just like how to live, and then here's how to live, which this is your like you have to do this. This is your internal like way to live. It's like here's like so
Yeah.
philosophy is like here's a few quick tips. Here's a few quick tips to learn about like how life is better, and here's like religion like here's bettering yourself through this like doctrine of thought or whatever.
Yeah.
I do think that that is a kind of interesting way to go about like teaching like the youth about a lot of the ideas of life. Making them take like a religious class or philosophy. I do like say like I'm glad they gave you the option now though, especially
Yeah.
because although I'm pretty sure like you get weird looks like you do the philosophy class instead of religion. Oh, you're weird.
Oh no, that was pretty much just all the edgy atheists that took it back then. I was beyond that. I was the super edgy atheist. I picked religion specifically so I could debate with
I was
my teacher.
ironically a religious. Oh god.
Yeah, it was terrible, and I wasn't even like an active student, so I didn't even actually debate with her.
But I mean, I guess the like, well, actually, how good were you a student as like in general?
I was one of those that got only perfect grades in elementary school, and then zoomed on like, middling grades through high school, and never learning how to study.
Yeah, that's
So yeah, then I went into uni, and I was not prepared for uni because I had no idea how to study, and
yeah,
I I,
that's very
I
common story.
flunked out.
The thing with like, do they have like the whatever like the gifted student or whatever the fuck thing in Germany too?
Like extra classes for those?
Yeah, like advanced classes or something.
Yeah, nah.
Okay, because
We have a system in Germany where it's like after elementary school you pick our equivalent of high school, but we have like four different types of schools. There's a Hauptschule, which is where the quote unquote dum dums go. Gesamtschule, so which is for like everyone is like very middle of the road. Realschule, which is like high up, but you can't get the highest uh, graduation there. And then, which you can at the middling one for some reason.
that's weird.
And then there's Gymnasium, which is where the smarty pants go. And that's like since I had like almost perfect grades in elementary school, that's why I went. And then I kind of meandered
Yeah,
without ever having to do much.
kind of fucked you up, huh? Like, like mentally.
Honestly, yeah.
I see that. That's a lot of thing with like, especially where you have kids who just got a lot of like push. Like, all right, here's like you're the smart kid. You know, you gotta do this, you gotta do
Mhm.
that. So, you gotta stay. Like, they never really give you the tools to be like, all right, here's how to improve. They say, oh well, you're already good, so just keep doing that good thing. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you ever. Do you know Healthy Gamer?
I've heard of him. Yeah. Did he stop? I think that's one that stopped making videos, right?
Did he?
The health. I think he did.
It's the Dr. K. The
Oh, that one, the one that streams.
yeah.
Okay, no, I've heard, there's a different healthy. No, that was the fit gamer or something else. But yeah,
mm.
the doctor one, the one that's like what's it called, a psychiatrist or something.
Yeah. He did. I'm gonna send you this.
Sure.
I don't know if you'll end up putting it up. But he put up that like a few weeks ago. The gifted kid burnout bingo.
Uh, whoa, I have to remember this for later. This was
Uh,
man.
had also like a full stream talking to like quote unquote gifted kids. That kind of burned out because they either never learned how to study and then crashed out because of that, expectations or like all those different things.
Wow, they really just like
Uh,
man, they really fuck you up, huh?
yeah, and I find myself on that one. Not I don't think it's enough to get a bingo anywhere, but it's
Damn,
enough.
I was so close. Man, like yeah, substance abuse, like anxiety, like just tiredness, depression, boredom, a lot of just. It sounds like the fucking thing to like taking a bad medicine, you know.
Yeah,
It's yeah, it's just pretty rough, really, because all those expectations is like it. Honestly, like it's. I don't know what's worse, having no expectations or having extreme expectations. Like,
yeah, and that's always like whenever we had like a parent teacher conference, like my teacher would always like go to my like because I would be on the brink of failing. Like I would just enough to pass, and that was enough for me most of the time. But then like always, oh, you're such a smart kid. You could do so much better. It's like, oh, can I though? I don't know how to get better because I don't even. No one ever taught me how to study.
That's the thing when you don't realize when you're a kid. You're like, well, I should be better. Oh well, and then you don't realize like, oh, the school's responsibility is to teach me how to be better.
Yeah,
That's really
but
a
like
sad thing.
all they spent time on was like teaching the next topic for the next exam because the exams is all that matters.
Yeah,
So I would like pump in like a day before, get enough knowledge in that I would just about pass, and forget everything the next day. Like the only subject I was like truly good at was we had IT classes,
mm.
IT and math, because those had like very strict systems and those made sense. Everything else was just kind of
Arbitrary. Just like, okay, here's just a grade.
yeah. Here, take this poem and analyze it. Oh, what?
Which it's kind of ironic because in a way it's like what you did with that video,
I guess.
but it's like you don't have a rubric or anything. You know, it's not like a necessary like, oh, here's like you get a grade for it or anything.
Yeah, but one is like an obscure poem that I have to analyze under pressure, and the other one is a game that I really enjoyed. That I took almost 3 months to write a script for.
Yeah, it's like one's a passion project and one's a work. It's like you
Yeah,
feel like work.
yeah. It never stuck right with me.
It's it makes sense too. It just makes sense. Like yeah, that's just how school's gonna work because they don't have the time, the resources, or whatever to make any kid really individual, right?
Mm.
And it's just like after a while, like yeah, it just has to meld into the system. All right, just give him an assignment so he can grade it like in a simple linear way. Give him a fucking bubble sheet, whatever.
Yeah,
So I mean, yeah, but like, yeah, it really does fuck you up to remember. Like, yeah, when I was a youngin, I used to get like beautiful A+ grades for just blinking, and now I can't. Like, I work to my ass to the bone, and I get like a C. You know.
yeah,
Yeah. But I didn't know about that religious class thing in Germany. Do you got any like other
yeah.
weird things? Not weird things. Other like differences, weird things.
I mean, Germany is weird. Uh, I don't know, not really. I'm the thing with Germany is as well. Like I don't feel very German. Like I don't. In my free time, all my time is spent is in English,
Yeah.
right?
You don't like speak much
Uh,
German in the day to day.
yeah, it's only at work and with family.
Most of the stuff that, yeah, I guess like you really on the internet like most of the stuff is just English anyway, so everyone speaks their native
Yeah.
English, not their native language. Well, yeah, which one did you learn first?
Well, German.
German. Okay.
I only started like I always like always. I feel like I learned English from games kind of because by the time I had like proper English classes in school, I already had like a basic understanding of it.
Did so all the earliest games that you played were like in English?
Yeah.
I assume they didn't have any
I,
maybe
I,
German
I
translations.
well, yeah, the Dragon Quest 8 would have like the English voice acting, but then German text,
Oh,
and I would always like try to like listen out which words matched.
actually, that's a good idea. If I ever want to learn fucking Spanish, then I'll just get a Spanish subtitles with English voice acting. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, I think that's actually like a tip you get from uh, like teachers and stuff. Like while you're learning, like it has to be like simultaneously. You probably can. I have been watching subbed anime for ages, and I don't. I can maybe pick out a word or two, but right.
Yeah, but because
Like
Japanese is like such a different language.
yeah,
If you like
I
try with
guess.
French or something, you might be able to understand like a few words. Like gymnasium, when you said gymnasium, like wait, that means like a school for you? For like in my part, it's like oh, it's just gym, like a place you go to work
Yeah,
out.
yeah. In German, that's just the smarty pants school.
It's weird how like different they are. It's kind of funny. I like it's kind of funny to me. I'm sorry, but yeah. The whole college experience you said like was very lonely for you, right?
Yeah, mostly. That's why. Oh man, now we're getting into a story. That's where I met. During that time, I met some friends while playing Overwatch,
Mm-hmm.
and then after like some drama earlier this year, I completely cut with them,
Mm.
and I found a new group, which I'm happy with. It was a shame how that other group ended.
It happens in life, you know.
Yeah,
But it's like every time you have like a different kind of like group, you do have an experience to at least like work off of or something.
yeah.
It'd be, it. I guess it would be really sad if you like had like that poor experience and you had to like to stay with like this friend group that was just like now newly dysfunctional or something.
Oh yeah, nah. They cut me out very quick
Mm.
after that.
Well, uh, I do want to know how you meet friends on Overwatch. Like you met them on Overwatch, or like use that as a game, just like you played. Or I guess both.
Uh it was they just brought out the custom game maker, like the very first one,
Mm.
and I thought, I'll make TF2 in Overwatch because I really love TF2. So at that time, it was still my most played game on Steam. Uh, and I just rebuilt the characters, gave them like different stats, so they would uh, like behave similarly to Overwatch characters. And I just hosted that custom game, and the two dudes joined, and they just started asking questions about like how I did certain things, and then afterwards they just invited me to their Discord server, and yeah,
How was that?
that was that.
That was like not long after Overwatch was made, right? Released.
Yeah, yeah, because I was starting to get tired of it at that point already.
I mean, yeah, Overwatch. Like, you can't really like. There's not, Overwatch is like one of those games you have like a repetition. Not every game could be like
Yeah,
amazingly different.
and then but once with them, I got a group, and then it was fun again.
Then yeah, because I mean, if you play a game with a group, then like the friends just like have like, oh, you saw that shit.
Yeah, yeah,
um,
that was fun again.
what other games do you like playing like with like other people? I need lists personally,
Uh,
so
at this point, not much anymore. Like I'm starting more and more. Like the new group doesn't really have many.
multiplayer games.
Uh, yeah, that I would play, or the ones that do are not as. Like I'm not good at like asking other people to play. Like when I don't have anything to do, I'll just pick a single player game and do that. But I like always say yes when someone asks me to, right?
Yeah.
Uh, what I got? What I got? Well, Vermintide 2 is always fun. Uh, GTFO is great.
What does that stand for?
Uh, well, probably get the fuck out.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, but like that's the game's name.
Yeah,
Really?
the game is just called GTFO.
Wow.
It's a horror shooter, horror tactical shooter,
Uh.
multiplayer.
Oh, you see, I haven't even heard of it. It's alright though.
Yeah, you play a bunch of convicts basically on death row, and you're made to enter facilities that are swarmed with alien zombie things, and they are when you enter, they're all sleeping. But make any noise while they're paying attention, because they'll eventually wake up, look around a little bit. Make any noise or shine your light on them, and the entire room will wake up and go at you.
Oh, like witches and
And
yeah.
a little bit, yeah. And like each one of them is a threat in itself. So what you end up doing is like sneak forward, and you hear like when they wake up, you hear like their heartbeat. So then you stop dead in your tracks, terrified, and you creep further. And then once all four players are in position, you can like charge up your melee weapon and then swing down and take out 4 of them, and then you creep further. And the game is so fucking hard. Like I just saw the statistics of like 91.8 of all attempts fail.
91?
Of like any 91.8% of all runs fail.
Holy fuck.
And only 0.5% of players have finished the first mission.
The first mission?
Yeah.
How many? Do you know how many are there?
I think there's at this point. I think like 6 or 7.
God damn.
It's really fucking hard.
That kind of
And
is
the further, and they only get harder from there.
Well, I guess it'll get like easier as you go on. He's like, all right, well, I know the game now. I feel it,
Yeah, because later they introduce like a fog. Oh, sorry. They introduce a fog that you can't breathe in, so you have to. One of the players has to carry like a big anti-fog machine with them.
A fan?
It's like kind of like an aura fan. So everyone has to stick close to them, but then you also you need to clear the room. And if you kill one of those alien zombies too close to one of the other ones, everyone else wakes
I
up.
feel like a good escort mission.
Yeah, and then they introduce like big ones that are tougher, and because for those big ones you need all 4 players to have like a charged hit right on the head. Like you need to like circle him and then all bop him at the same time for him to go down. Or one dude that keeps walking around the room. He doesn't do anything, but he just walks around, stops, and then sends out like tiny hair tentacles all over the place, as far as you can see, basically all the sidelines.
Anytime, I'm thinking every time I say them, anytime someone says tentacles, I immediately go to the worst place possible. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, and if you touch one of those tentacles, he alerts the entire room, of course.
Wait, it's a FPS, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about as a top-down Diablo style game for some reason, but yeah, it's an FPS. It's Left 4 Dead.
And you can see it on screenshot 10 on the Steam page, the little tentacles.
I still can't believe a game just literally just called GTFO. No subtitle, no flavor, no beef, just GTFO.
Yep. It is super hard, unforgiving, terrifying. Yeah. I can recommend it. It's good.
Well, you have a lot to say about it, so I assume I'd be at least alright.
Yeah. What else do I play with people? Risk of Rain 2 is fun.
Mm-hmm. It's very popular. I hear a lot about it.
Yeah. I used to play a lot of Siege, not anymore, because it's like a giant game and I don't play it much, so I can't have that clogging up my
my
SSD.
The storage space wise.
Yeah. It's like fucking 80 gigs. Like, if I don't play that much, why would I keep that around?
Jesus, 80 gigs?
Yeah, at least.
I did not know it was that big.
Yeah.
Also, I see the tentacle thing. I thought they'd be bigger, honestly. Huh.
Yeah, which also makes them hard to see, which is even more terrifying because when you just hear the little slime sound effect in the distance, and it's like, oh fuck, where is he?
Yeah,
and then you see one of those little worms coming around the corner. It's like, oh fuck.
Oh man, it sounds like a pretty tense game in a good way,
Yeah, you can cut the tension with a knife. It's so thick. The atmosphere.
You said that Risk of Rain 2 was how I've seen gameplay of it, but was it function like a tower defense game or something? What was it? What genre was it?
No, it's a roguelite.
Roguelite?
You go around, kill enemies, get money, and use that money to open chests to get more items. And then you go infinitely until you either decide to opt out and fight. They recently added a final boss, so there's actually an end to it. Or you can quit out, you can die, or you can obliterate yourself at the obelisk for some currency that you can take on the next one with you.
when you just keep going and going until you have like amazing currency, the best money.
Yeah, like that. This game, Risk of Rain goes fucking crazy.
That was wait, yeah. Which one is? I heard like is one 2D? I forgot if it was.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it was. Okay,
First one is 2D.
that's why I remember it like being different. I was like, they're two because it's weird that Risk of Rain 2 just turned 3D. I don't know why, but it's like it was kind of unexpected.
Yeah, and they did the shift masterfully.
I heard. Yeah, that's pretty lovely game. When did that come out? Like 2017, 18? Could have been 19, could it?
Well, it went into early access. I think like late
Oh.
2018.
Oh, that makes sense. Early access. I mean, early access kind of makes it like, kind of like makes the timing of a game different. Like Minecraft was in early access for like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
But that one actually release. Yeah, there's a lot of oh yeah, do you ever play what's that game called? I forgot the game, Terraria.
Yeah, I played that recently with a friend because I never got into it before properly. But a friend who knows Terraria kind of guided me through
Like
it.
in depth.
Yeah,
The thing
I mean, we played through that. Oh, that was fun.
with Terraria is like I never was a giant like, Terraria is like way like it sounds really complex whenever like you're going into it. I can't really get in. I don't know. I can't get into it because it just like seems like a game. Like all right, there's a lot to like remember because it's like whenever you first play I don't know a lot of people can play like they compare Minecraft and Terraria, but they are kind
That's
of.
not even close.
It's like yeah, they're completely different type of games. Like I guess Terraria is more like like an action RPG than and with crafting, and then you have like
Yeah,
Minecraft is like mostly based on that crafting system. It's like okay, here's like a sandbox or whatever.
yeah. Like, fucking RL Craft has a lot of like systems from Terraria in it.
It's
Like some bosses and trinkets and stuff.
they add bosses to Minecraft with RL Craft.
Yeah,
C-
there's big dungeons and shit you can go down.
Nice.
And then you take one wrong turn and get insta killed by a blight zombie.
With the thing with like Terraria is I hear like they have like everything I hear about the boss battles a gigantic fucking, eye spider demon fucking whatever.
Yeah,
The
they're fun to fight, but they're tough. You gotta actually be prepared.
yeah, you really gotta like push your what's it called the weaponry and like you like have all these like different stat bonuses or whatever. It's like with Minecraft you can kind of just fumble through a little bit. Even like the sword system is
Yeah.
like yeah you just I mean everything with like all these games are simple. You just like press button or whatever. But
Mm.
I actually kind of want to ask you about Binding of Isaac too specifically.
Oh, I love Binding of Isaac.
Yeah, because like a lot of those like roguelikes like Spelunky, Binding of Isaac, and Terraria, a lot of like random generation games are like games you put a lot of hours into and you like dense systems.
Mm. Yeah, I got to Platinum God on Binding of Isaac Rebirth.
Damn.
True Platinum God.
Oh.
So I unlocked everything.
And
I did everything.
Shit. How many hours is that? That's like that'd be like a couple of hundred.
150, yes.
And the thing with a roguelike is that like again you could like put in a couple of an hour there, an hour there, and you don't notice how much you put in there.
Yeah.
That's the thing with the Steam library too. Like they tell you exactly how much time you put into this game on the front of the game.
Yeah. I don't mind that.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, you don't have to like mind or not. You still do. They still do give it to you, but a lot of it's different than every other consoles. You have to like either they don't have it or you have to hunt for it. Like with like the 3DS or something, you have to or the Wii U or whatever. Fuck, you go into your time activity log and hunt for it. But with
Yeah,
Steam or whatever. They catalog that shit from the moment you start the game. Like, I have like 60 hours in Blender.
yeah,
Yeah, that's just like messy though. You don't really need to have.
yeah. I don't mind people saying that I have 807 hours in Warframe.
Wait, so Warframe? I've heard a lot of like friends mention Warframe. Is Warframe like? Is that kind of like an MMO too? Like, I heard it's like a Destiny in a way.
Kinda. It's Destiny is closer to like a classic MMO than Warframe is.
Hmm.
Warframe is just you pick a mission, go in, do the mission, and then get rewards for that.
Yeah.
And then you just pick a goal. Like either you want to finish the story quests or just want to grind for a certain new weapon or frame, and then you go for
You
it
just
and
do it.
have the wiki open on another monitor so you know where to fucking go.
Well, yep. That definitely has some you know elements of a MMO.
Yeah, definitely.
If you have to,
It's the only MMO I ever got into because the combats and movement systems are so fucking
it's the
tight.
third person one.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, friends mention like the speed or whatever, like the thing of it.
Yeah.
Is the gunplay good?
Like, oh, it's so good.
I hear like I don't know how to like how do I describe it? I'm like
No, that was good. That was good.
okay,
Keep going.
is a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm glad it didn't like tarnish the reputation of Warframe or anything.
No, no.
Specifically, all right, so I didn't come here with questions or anything, but I do, I always
Yeah.
like, thinking about stuff to keep the conversation moving and stuff. Structure,
Mhm.
make it interesting to listen to, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I want to ask, like, what do you think of like the gaming industry in general right now? Like, what is your like take on like, all right, what's happening here? What's your like overall like thoughts about that?
My thoughts is that it's a goddamn hellhole.
Mm,
Uh, and I don't know when the last time was I bought a AAA game at launch
that makes sense.
because I can't. Because like AAA, it's all off-putting. Because either the games are buggy, shit, full of microtransactions, or you hear that the development staff was abused during
Yeah, you
development.
just can't win, really.
Yeah, it's like all terrible. I at this point I only either buy a AAA game like years after the fact, or I just play indies.
Yeah, that
Because indies are so much more interesting.
a lot of these games are like the indie games, the indie scene. Is there like really a scene around indie games? Because it's not like a music like thing where you could just like make a song like dedicated like in response to another artist or something. Like indie games are
No,
like games.
it just means they don't have the like kind of money behind them. They're independent more or less. They
Yeah,
may still have their publishers, but there's like certain like quote unquote publishers.
yeah. You have like
Right?
I know the indie thing, but I'm thinking like. Oh yeah, I guess explaining it for like would be a good idea. But I'm saying like for the idea of like indie, right? There's not an indie scene necessarily, unless you have like what's it called? Like what's the short kind of games, Ludium Dare or whatever, like Game Jams or whatever. Like
Yeah.
those are like what I consider the indie scene, and then indie games are just like someone that like whatever bedroom coder or whatever, like literally like a small studio, like
Yeah.
those.
Like there's 2 or 3 publishers that publish. I mean, if once they have a publisher, they're not really indie anymore, right?
I guess.
Uh, but there's 2 specifically I keep an eye on, which is Annapurna Interactive and Devolver Digital. I
You
mean,
were gonna say
Devolver, of course.
I knew you were gonna say Devolver.
Of course, Devolver.
Yeah.
And I guess kind of New Blood as well, because Dusk and Ultrakill have been amazing. But Annapurna Interactive, they put out some of the best shit.
What they put out.
I'm gonna just shout out one of my favorite games of 2019,
Okay.
Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Oh yeah, that's the one
That
bike one.
yeah,
Yeah, it's colorful.
it's it's so good. It's like the only critique I have for that game is that it unlocks the correct way to play only once you've beaten the game.
That's okay. That's kind of stupid, but otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like a playable music album basically.
Ah,
Uh,
sounds cool. Sounds cool.
and yeah, the music is fantastic. And in the main game, you go by level, and after each level, you're kicked back out to the level select.
And it's just like individual.
Yeah, and it's you play one by one, and once you beat the final level, you unlock arcade mode, which is all levels
Put together.
like back to back.
Oh, that's what you meant. I thought you meant like a specific
Yeah.
type of like bike or something or a character.
No, no, no. It's all levels strung together instead of the game isn't very long. It's like 2 hours for the main game, but arcade mode is suddenly only 1 hour.
Then like it's just the album.
Like, yeah, you just listen to the album, play through it, and once you beat that, you unlock YOLO Arcade, which is
One life.
if you die, you lose.
Like what's it called? It's called like Spelunky arcade mode. Like like with the roguelikes, you only have one life or whatever. So I'd call it Spelunky.
Yeah,
You did say you like rhythm games, so I guess it makes sense.
yeah, it's kind of rhythmy.
You have like the music.
That's mostly
so it's
mostly
like
the spectacle of it.
it kind yeah, I could see like it's not like a rhythm game, but it's like you have like the music as like the main theme, you know?
Yeah, and it's also like got enough symbolism and stuff that you have like shit to chew on for like more analytically minded people.
Well, yeah, it's like kind of what every indie game like kind of wants, and like the back of like indie developers' mind, I'm sure they're like, all right, well, I kind of want a game theory episode too, you know?
Yeah,
What's it called? So yeah, you said that you like a lot of indie games, you know?
yeah.
So I want to ask like specifically, how do you feel about Undertale? It's not like
Oh, I
topical
love
anymore.
Undertale.
Yeah, Undertale.
Yeah, I'm guessing you wanna hear me say something about the annoying fandom.
No, I don't. I really don't. But if you do want to say it, then I'll give you the go ahead.
No, the only thing I'm gonna say about that is, if you judge a game based on its fandom or anything, then you're kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Like
I can see that.
if a certain franchise has like a rabid, annoying, terrible fandom, why not ever stop and think like maybe the franchise in question is actually just very good.
Yeah. I guess like
And,
good in the
like,
popularity sense.
Yeah, like you don't have to interact with the community just to enjoy
You
a,
just play
a
the game.
product. Yeah,
Or read the fucking book or watch the show, whatever.
yeah. Like play Undertale, enjoy it. It's a really good game, and then be done with it, and don't engage with the community. It's awful.
Yeah. But I was gonna say about Undertale specifically is like that's like a lot of I guess like influential in its own way, because a lot of people like were influenced by it's the same way like how Earthbound was influential to Toby Fox and like a lot of the SNES like RPG lover community. Is the same way Undertale is more influenced to like the more, could I say Zoomer? Let's not say Zoomer. Let's say the fucking like younger like indie developer, the more modern indie developer community, I guess.
Yeah,
A lot of those traits are kind of like, like especially with I still think like the formula of having game and then there's like game with like hidden thing under game, that's like the main thing that keeps your game like popular, or game keeps your game like a
that's
thing.
yeah. I mean, I feel like that's been around for ages.
It
Though.
has, but like, 'cause I guess it's like the thing. It's just like a general thing. Like, if your game has more like depth, obviously you're gonna be like, all right, here's something about like, let's say like Melee, right? Yeah, your game has more depth.
Yeah,
So you have more to work with, to chew on.
yeah. No, like kind of like almost an ARG next to it.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, yeah, I kind of like nailed it actually, because you have a lot of like stuff, like a lot of people are working together to see like, well, okay, what's this thing? Oh, I didn't see that part of that thing. Oh, that's what that thing means, you know?
Yeah, there are a few of those, like fucking Pony
Hmm.
Island or Frog Fractions.
Yeah. Oh,
Ever played Frog
I
Fractions?
think I watched like a playthrough of it. It's kind of weird. I don't know if I watched the ending, but I know like it gets like weird halfway through or something.
Yeah, it's no, it's just a cute frog math game. I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course. I'm sorry.
Uh,
I'm not good at math. That's why it's so weird to me.
yeah, and it's really good, and everyone should play it.
Yeah. It's free, I think, isn't it? It's free. It's either free or like
No.
extremely cheap.
No, it is. It is.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
free on Steam. Wow, we've done it. We've advertised a
Yeah,
free game.
play
Like
it.
Raid
It's
Shut. Never
cute.
mind. But yeah, I think that yeah. I mean, like a lot of the indie scene. I say scene, but I guess scene, but it's like not really a scene. You know, scene's more like a small, like kind of collective, I guess, in my opinion. But like
Mhm.
the indie games, like industry, even though yeah, let's call the indie
Yeah.
games industry. Like it definitely has a lot more like I guess just in general going on. There's someone constantly making a game, releasing like their sequel. Like okay, here's this new developer. It's like the music scene, you know. It's like you never
Mhm.
know all the underground artists that you could be listening to. You don't know all the indie games you could be playing and enjoying, you know. But
Yeah.
the ones that like float to the top and stick out are like some of your favorite games, probably of all time, maybe.
Yeah. And like that's also kind of like when I think about like what kind of videos I would want to make, like all the AAA games and stuff, like I would put those at the very end of my priority list.
Hmm.
Because like the more attention I can bring to like the small uh indie things that don't get much attention, the better.
And it makes sense because, you know, those big games, even if they are like underrated or whatever, they don't really need the attention because the
Yeah.
developers aren't going to see that money. Like shit, man. Sad but
Yeah.
true. Like,
So even something like fucking what's a popular game?
Undertale.
Uh Fucking Counter-Strike. What I'm gonna say about Counter-Strike that hasn't been said before.
Yeah, like people literally make their living off of like talking about it, streaming it. You know.
Yeah. Or even Pyre. Pyre was or Hades more
Yeah,
recent.
especially Hades.
Like Hades has been talked to death about
Yeah.
already. Like, if I were to try and make a video about that, like what am I going to talk about that hasn't been said by a million other dudes before?
It's really like that's the thing. Like, how much of yeah, it really goes back to like the first part. Like, how much of it can you add to the discussion? You know.
Yeah.
And that's like with indie games, you don't have much discussion generally. Even like with the
Yeah.
like even with the slightly like off, you know, off has a sizable fan base, but you don't have
Yeah.
like too many like in depth like things on it. You know,
Yeah.
it's interesting to see like how much like you know I do want to think like how much of these like AAA games do have something that's like in depth, but they're just not on the surface. You know, I wonder how many like of those exist. Like does it
Triple A, I feel like AAA games are so on the nose most of the time.
yeah, there's not much subtlety to be gleaned from a lot of these things.
Yeah.
A lot of this like stuff is like, but yeah, I mean, it seems that like you have like a more focused voice when you have less people working on a thing, but also you have like you know a lot of good games you canceled or just like don't even come to the surface of being like in development because like or just don't get done because
Yeah.
yeah it's so it's like a double edged sword, you know. It's like a but I do think that a lot of the yeah the indie scene is always like the one that people like yeah because
That's where the true gems are.
yeah.
Like think of something like tiny, like fucking
Mm-hmm.
Florence. I'm just looking through Annapurna's library right now. But like a game like that, how would something like that ever exist in a AAA space?
It just couldn't really in the same way. It's
Yeah.
too small scale. There wouldn't be like like Yeah, because
Yeah, too small scale, to niche.
yeah, that's true. Because a lot of like AAA developers are always about because for the shareholders, you have to be like
Yeah,
huge, big scale,
needs to
infinite content.
needs to right, right, and better
Yeah, more
more
graphic,
map, give more
more
map.
map. Oh, I love more map.
Yeah,
The same thing we were talking about
like
with Fall
that's
Guys.
what that's what the mainstream audience like responds to. It's like bigger, better.
Yeah.
It's like if the game's actually good, just second thought.
Like I remember being like really like, oh my god, dude, I'll have infinite game if I buy No Man's Sky.
Yeah,
I mean, at launch, like, yeah, you sure did have infinite game, infinite piece of shit. But later on, you had something better, something more depth.
yeah.
And that's when they use kind of like the indie. They use kind of like
And
the
they were kind of ruined because of the AAA treatment.
yeah, really. They were like an indie. Well, actually, it kind of worked out in the end, I guess. Cause like, all right, so if they released it as an indie game, it'd be like, okay, this game's pretty cool, and then like thing. But then since it had this big push and this big fuck around it or whatever, then it had the push of Sony, and then they're like everyone hated it, and then they're like, all right, we can make we gonna make this better. We gonna like drop it, Let's make
Yeah.
So we have an altogether better game, I guess, because of that struggle,
Yeah.
Who knows? But it is a shame that they had like to go through that AAA like backlash, AAA level backlash because of just like the marketing.
Yeah.
So yeah, the thing about the mid like AAA industry right now is that a lot of it's focused on like, yeah, obviously the microtransactions have been there for like a while now, but it seems that they're focused more on I guess the streamer side really, because especially with like the richer companies, like, oh, again, I jokingly said Raid Shadow Legends, but I've seen like big streamers get sponsored by them, and like how much did they pay you for that sponsorship? Like they must have paid you like
Oh, Raid
thousands.
has fuck you money.
They probably, yeah, I'm saying like I've never heard of anyone who like actually plays Raid like for real, like even like downloading it ironically to delete it immediately after, but like.
I played it for a little bit,
Was it alright?
like to like support the streamer at the time, because they had like this Twitch integration with like, oh, if this many, like the more people download and get past the
Then
tutorial,
I
the
get to live for another 5 minutes.
yeah, no, I mean I mean, and I played it for a little bit. It was fine. It was a good time waster, but like as every freemium game,
Yeah.
you get to the point where you just it always like it starts off with a lot of premium currency, and you get to roll a lot and all that shit, and then it gets less and less and less and less. And once it reaches a certain point, I just cut that shit off before I end up paying.
I'm like every time I give myself shit for like buying a Steam game unnecessarily. You think I'm gonna buy a currency with a fake baby Chuck E. Cheese token within a game? Like, no. But it's so easy to
Yeah.
get enraptured in that thought. Like, well, I mean, what if I do? I might be the best Raid Shadow Legends player,
Yeah, yeah.
It's like I do kind of, it's kind of like in between. It's like, how, all right, so here's the person you want to support, but also here's this like the most mediocre game. What do you do? Like, it's
Yeah.
rough.
I mean, Raid isn't mediocre. It's all right.
All right for it's like, well, I mean, all right is mediocre in my opinion. I think it's like mediocre is just like not special. Like, okay, it's just a game, a time waster. It's just a game. Average. But it's like mediocre would be like, I guess they'd be like a little bit worse than that. But yeah, I'd use it as a general term for like, like,
Oh yeah, mediocre of only average quality, not very
yeah.
good.
It's not like 4 out of 10. It's like it's all right, 5, yes.
I would say it's a bit more than it gets to mediocre once they turn up the pay me heat.
The payment. I guess yeah, that's
Yeah.
like, I guess if it's like a fun game at the first time, it's like, okay, that might look appealing for this first second, and then like So really, it's just like the issue with the structure. Honestly, they like purposely like brick wall the structure of their game. Like their game could be perfectly fine, and then like have a natural like pay spread, but they had to just go and say, all right, here's a brick wall of progression. Sorry, fuck you.
Mm,
That,
pretty much.
that's depressing. That's depressing. But I mean, again, yeah, it's like that's like the general thing. It's like that's the meta right now. Dark patterns. That's like what the kind of thing that they say. Dark patterns. Like we have like specific like ways to make your user like. It's like what's it called? If you need to get rid of an account, you can't go through the traditional means. You have to go through this like extremely hard mean. It's like
Hmm.
stuff like that, backhanded stuff that the average person won't notice or get upset about unless they have this really specific. They have this specific situation, like, you know, that's the meta.
Yeah.
It's you have to like you have to look for like the because back in the day, you could have bad game. This game sucks. Game glitchy. This game just like awful. False advertising. But now it's like, okay, this game doesn't advertise itself as anything, but like, okay, it's just the experience of the summer. Here's the best mobile game of 2015. you know.
Yeah.
Uh,
And with the free mobile game, you know what you're getting.
yeah. It's just like how much of it do you expect to get?
Yeah.
And the like whale method just works a lot more than people even like think about.
Oh, way too well.
And I mean, that's been driving the game industry back for like years at this point. It's like, at this point, it's like obviously old news. Like, no one's like, oh man, microtransactions, I just finding out they're bad. Like, everyone knows they're bad, but like, it's like they don't stop
Yeah.
working all of a sudden. It's,
Yeah, it's because the kind of people that do spend that much money are not participating in the conversation.
yeah, they don't want to be like shamed.
Everyone that's in the conversation, like that's on in the conversation around, oh yeah, this is bad. They know.
Yeah, they wouldn't do it. And if they fall into it, they'd be like, all right, well, this is stupid. And then like get out of it, right?
Yeah.
But it's really just like first of all, like every time that like people would just buy a COD every year, like they don't buy it just because, oh man, I really like this. It's like, oh, it's fine, whatever. I just need to find a multiplayer shooter, fine game. All right, cool.
Yeah.
It's not like they are particularly passionate or unpassionate about it. It's just obligatory, a routine.
No, it's the same. Those are the same kind of people that buy the sports games every year. And they don't give a shit. They just want the game to play.
Yeah. And at a certain point, I can't blame. I specifically can't blame the people who buy let's say fucking COD every year, right? Because it's like, yeah, I've been buying COD since it was like, just 2007. Like, okay, fine, yeah, the game still functions. This game's still like all right. It's not like a horrible glitchy mess every year or anything like fucking Ubisoft used to do with like Unity and what's it called, the other Assassin's Creed games or whatever. Like, no.
Yeah.
Sports games a little bit less forgivable. Like that's like, dude, I don't know. Like the thing with like sports games, like I see like Techno Bowl getting updates through ROM hacks or whatever. So I'm like, they really didn't. They just generally just didn't have to do it. Like and the thing is, I used to be into like a lot of like I used to be into sports games honestly. Like especially like the basketball games are like of the past. Like NBA Jam is like I love NBA Jam genuinely. One of the best basketball games, and that game still holds up. But you can't design a game to hold up if you make a new one every year.
Yeah.
That's just the gist of it. You can't make
the kind of development that needs to go in there to make it distinct
Yeah.
would be just too much.
You just don't have the idea to make it timeless. There's no point, and that's really the thing about it. It's like, indie games want to be timeless because all the games they played before were timeless, and then AAA doesn't have the like. Ironically, for the like things like a lot of the AAA games don't want to be timeless because having like the time limits is the part of the selling point.
Yeah, it's the what is that called? Like planned
Obsolescence.
Obsolescence. Yeah.
It's like the Apple fucking method.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like I can blame the consumer, but I can blame them like sometimes, you know. I can't blame them all
I
the
mean,
time,
we can blame them as much as we
but they
want.
won't stop
Like
buying.
the thing still is, they're not participating in the conversation. They don't
They're
care. They just they want their game once a year. They want a new game, slightly
yeah.
updated, whatever, good enough, and that's what they play. They don't play any other
No,
games.
that's the thing. I see a lot of these people who like buy these games and participate, especially like the streamer people who do this, like the people like aspiring streamer, just like even like the big streamers, like they only focus on one game constantly.
Yeah,
Like weird example, what Tyler one. I always like think about Tyler one because I think that he like obviously like oh yeah he's like one of the biggest streamers, but like, I think that like he has a potential to entertain a little bit like more, but he's like so thinged on League that I don't know. Like I watched some of the stuff with like the Last of Us 2 and it was pretty entertaining genuinely. Like but being stuck
yeah,
with that one game is just kind of like I don't know, kind of forces you down.
yeah.
It,
I couldn't do that. I get so bored of games, so quickly bored of games.
yeah. I think that like I mean obviously like the whole Steam library thing is kind of like my thing too. It's like I have so many options now that I don't even like think about like oh just here's a game I gotta put something on. Like
Yeah.
I can't spend the time that I used to. That's the thing with like Nintendo. You have to spend like especially when you're younger, you have to spend a lot of time with their games because you don't get many options
Yeah,
and the options you get are fucking always full price, expensive. Holy shit.
yeah,
That's I think that's why like they're that's why Nintendo's from a different time too. I only like say oh man Nintendo's because Nintendo's pissing me off, but I will say that they have a different like idea of what a game should be than like every single not even like all like half of them it's every single game company because they're just a different kind of company. They're built off the
yeah,
bones of a toy company.
yeah. They're very, very disconnected.
Like in a good way, bad way, always like it's just gonna be different. Like actually,
Yeah,
yo,
like they make good games, but they're stuck in the past with how they do business.
yeah, I just realized like they function like legally as a toy company. Like if you think about it, like a lot of their games are focused on merchandising. A lot of their policies, like with IP protection, are focused on like you know, because if you have a toy that's like oh similar to this toy, then it'd be like okay we have to sue them. You know, their toy's like way too similar. You know, it's like oh you make the bop it and then they make the slop it like you can't do that. So then that makes sense.
Slop it. You have to suck on
Exactly, bop it, spin it, suck it. It's some crazy shit.
it.
I'm saying if you made the slop it, then they'd sue you. I'm saying it's like, you know, obviously like you make the comparisons to Disney, but like, I don't know, Nintendo has a lot of things that Hasbro or something like that too. I'd never really thought about it before, but they kind of do.
Yeah,
Like Pokemon functions more as a merchandising machine than as a game series. You know,
yeah, it really does.
it's weird. Like, you ever what's your favorite game from the '80s? By the way, I'm kind of like curious.
From the 80s. Oh, I'm not that old.
I mean, I'm just asking in general.
Uh, Fuck no. I have to look up what came out in the 80s even.
You know, if you could say Super Mario Brothers, it's okay.
Let's go with just Tetris.
Ah, good choice. It's a good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, why is that? Is it because like just this, I already know the reason you're gonna say because Tetris is just like genuinely the perfect game. But like, what's your reason?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's perfect. It's timeless.
Really, just like,
And like every new iteration is like it's the same goodness. Like Tetrio for multiplayer and then Tetris Effect for single player.
and the Tetris 99 if you got a Switch.
Yeah.
The,
That was kind of annoying. There was too many people.
yeah, you know the Tetris 59, Tetris 39, Tetris 9.
Yeah, I like with Tetrio where you can just kind of
Invite your
like
friends.
play with. Yeah,
That makes sense. It's like, well, actually, it doesn't have a limit or anything, does it? It's like maybe like 10 people or something. Like,
I don't know.
yeah,
I never
because I'm
reached
saying
it.
like you
I only
would.
played
I
with
don't
like
think you would ever
six
reach the
people max.
Tetris, the IO limits. Like,
Oh well, you can do quick play.
yeah, I guess you're right. Actually, you ever yeah, what's that game called? Puyo Puyo Tetris. You ever play it?
Never. No. I kind of want to, but then again, I don't know if I'm gonna like the Puyo Puyo part.
Well, yeah, I think Puyo Puyo is pretty fun, but I think that like weird, like the thing with like that game is like how it's kind of like you don't expect a mix like that, you know? Like they're obviously like both like quote unquote falling block games, like falling block puzzle games, but like mixing those two types of different games into one like mode is just so like weird game design wise, you know?
Yeah.
It's like so let's say you want to mix like I don't know, uh, two platformers, two different types of platformers, right?
Hmm.
You couldn't do that, especially like even like Mario Maker. You had to like they had to fuck up the physics of some of the games, not fuck up, but like they had to change the physics of every game in there to match, because you couldn't just like you couldn't have two different types of platformers in the same game. It'd be like,
I mean, Mario Odyssey had the 2D
yeah,
sections.
I guess you're right. That's like more of like a mini thing though, because like with the actually yeah, you're right, because it's like Mario. It's like if they had Mario World in one part, and they have like the physics from the SNES version, not the modern one, and they have like 3D Mario, and then they have like Mario, the original NES Mario physics. It's like they're all different feels, and it's like kind of weird
Hmm.
how like they kind of mix together the two different like feels of like Puyo Puyo, where you have like this, point point point, and then it goes like, chaining combos or whatever, and then Tetris is like, in a way it's chaining combos, but you're like trying to get like the one big four Tetris,
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely do see why you would say like, yeah, Tetris is definitely the '80s best '80s game if you like value like it's just like the game.
Yeah.
How weird question. How do you feel about Wii Sports? How influential is Wii Sports?
Uh, at the time, it was for the Wii
Uh-huh.
itself. But then people quickly realized that motion controls suck.
Yeah. I especially like okay, the Wii's motion controls sucked, but I think gyro controls are pretty epic, pretty epic in poggers. God damn it.
All right. To like for the Switch, like kind of being able to adjust your aim just a little
Yeah.
bit by tilting the controller. That's fine.
If they have something
But that's
crazy,
about as far as it can
yeah,
go for
generally,
me.
because
Like in VR, that's a different story
VR,
again.
yeah, VR is basically just like that's kind of where it went. Honestly, if we're talking about like the legacy of motion controls, I guess it kind of went to
Yeah,
VR.
it did, but that's a completely different beast because that's like the full
Hmm.
immersion uh, motion controls.
I guess in like this, like the same way. It's like I guess when the Wii came out, it's like holy shit, we have motion controls, and now it's like holy shit, we have way better motion controls.
Yeah, for the Wii, it was kind of a gimmick. Like all of those controls
Could have been,
could be emulated with
yeah,
button presses as well. Like the only advantage it had is that it was what's the word?
accessible, S- small scale,
Uh,
cheap.
yeah,
Yeah, I guess accessible.
it was it was obvious how to
Oh yeah,
control this.
simplistic. It was like easy to get, accessible. Yeah,
Except, yeah,
that's
that's
the best word I could come up with.
intuitive. That's the
Intuitive.
word.
Yeah, accessible. It's the same thing. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's yeah, I know what you mean.
Well, it's not very accessible to people who can move their arms very well.
Or just in general,
It's intuitive controls. And that's why all these old people homes ended up buying Wii's,
tons of them.
because like old people, they couldn't wrap their hands and heads around like pressing buttons and shit. But like, oh, there's a tennis racket. Like, let me swing this thing like a tennis racket. Oh, this
Yeah, it does
works.
it.
I get it.
And then you
Yeah.
throw your grandson's PlayStation controller. Like, oh, shouldn't it work like this? That's
Yeah, something like that.
I do think that like the whole with the Wii early original Wii definitely had like a lot of like issues with like, okay, how do we integrate this into the game without it being stupid? And they didn't do that pretty well until like, because Mario Galaxy, I'm literally playing Mario Galaxy on an emulator with a controller on a stream, right? And most
Yeah.
stuff works well except like the fucking star bit collecting. It kind of makes me mad with the having to use my right stick. But yeah, all that stuff is
Yeah.
like, basic. It's like you can just like press a button for that, right? But with
Yeah.
let's say Skyward Sword, that Zelda
Yeah.
game, Motion Plus changed up everything with like motion controls and that, because it's like if you finally have that precision that people were actually looking for. The technology just wasn't there before, but now you have like, all right, here's your Wii, but like actually like what you figured like it would be,
Yeah.
and you have both of those like ideas, like, okay, here's the the basic Wii, and then like you can have like this, shaking the thing. It's like, okay, but after that, like, okay, after Wii Sports, like what else like even like you can think of that even had like good motion controls or any like kind of like into like, I don't think of any games that have like I don't know, fluidity with like the, if anything, the gyro sensor was like the kind of the thing, with the going back and forth. Yeah, honestly, like since the beginning, gyro was probably like the best part of the Wii motion. It's like you had like the motion
Yeah.
detection. No, it's the gyro. Yeah, but in terms of influence, I don't know. I don't know. Uh, it's probably like mildly influential. Probably Minecraft is probably more influential, to be honest.
I mean, that's hard to top though.
Yeah, you really, because it's the well, I mean, it's saying like up with those like high tiering, high selling games. Like, let's see, what's the best selling games like I can think of, like GTA 5, Mario 1, Tetris, like Wii Sports, fucking Skyrim. Like, how many of those games, and not Minecraft, how many of those games like are influential versus like how many of those games just sold well and they just like were
I
popular,
mean, you're forgetting one of the most influential games, DayZ.
Oh,
That original mod
yeah.
entirely spawned the survival
It's the
genre.
same thing with like what's it called, Dota 1.
Yeah, that spawned the
MOBA genre.
yeah.
And actually, yeah, because the MOBA genre was like the biggest still, technically, because League is literally like, God, they've been playing League forever. 10 years, guys, 10 years.
Yeah.
Not leaving anytime soon. So, yeah, I guess you're right, like PC mods or whatever. That's kind of the indie game scene in a way, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many indies. Can't even count
There are
them
like
all.
tons. There are tons and tons. Infinite, even.
Yeah, almost.
But,
Might as well
I mean,
be.
essentially, like, there are, like, no matter, like, how, like, if you have the tools to make a game, someone's gonna do it. I guess, like, a lot of the influential games are, like, single-player experiences, though, because those would be, like, the games that would be, like, all right, here's a game that I want to make.
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, the survival thing ended up being a big multiplayer thing. Like Ark came out of that, and like the modern DayZ, whatever the hell happened with that.
I don't even know, like, is that because a lot of the, like, the multiplayer, like, the early, like, survival games or whatever, they just weren't well optimized. That's, like, a genuine, like, reason they weren't as, like, well remembered, because their programming was just, like, shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a mess, but it is. Um, what's it called? Battle Royales. Battle Royales.
Oh yeah.
Those were, like, it's kind of still, they're still big, obviously, they're still big. But,
Yeah, I mean, Fall Guys. This was one of them.
Tetris
I
99.
mean, Tetris 99.
Yeah. The other ones that don't matter.
Yeah, Apex.
Who cares?
PUBG. Minecraft Hunger
Yep.
Games.
All of the good ones. They're remembered.
Uh,
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's
I
one of them that I always forget about. There's the one. What was it called again? Oh yeah. Mario 36, of course. That was the
Yeah, that one that's gonna disappear in a
Yep.
month.
Oh shit! It is. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
It's like here's hey Nintendo fans, here's this cool new shit. Get it for 3 months or it disappears forever.
You gotta put "new" in quotation marks too, because is it
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
You know.
Of course it's not,
Yeah,
but you know.
but they won't know that. But still, as look.
Oh
Oh,
Nintendo.
my favorite game company that I hate. I love you. I I don't think I haven't bought a fucking Nintendo game in a while. I don't even, yeah. I love
Oh.
talking about Nintendo. I love like hating on Nintendo because I have so much Nintendo shit and I love them because I it's like a fucking abusive relationship, really.
Yeah. Oh, I bought Age of Calamity. Speaking of the last time I bought a AAA game,
Was it good?
Hyrule Warriors. Yeah, oh, it's so good.
See, I'm not like I feel like I'm probably gonna be into those Muso games because I'm always like it's gotta
Yeah, I tried one of the like proper Warriors games on uh Dynasty Warrior games on Steam,
hmm
but I didn't like it much.
And then Hyrule
And
Warriors.
then Hyrule Warriors and the first Dragon Quest Heroes.
Huh.
Like those were oh and no, but yeah, both Hyrule Warriors, Dragon Quest Heroes, those were great. Lots of fun.
Dragon Quest Heroes. I forgot about that one. I remember Dragon Quest. What's the
Yeah.
one? Builders. I remember Builders.
Yeah. I'm thinking about getting that one.
Heroes. Yeah. Because a lot of Dragon Quest spin-offs, like, man, a lot of people forget about the spin-offs. That's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Swords.
I mean, Heroes 1 was alright. Wait, does it actually have a lower score than the second one? Because if so, then I'm buying the second one right now. Oh no! Oh my poor wallet.
Ooh.
That's 50% off. Whatever.
Okay.
Uh, yeah. The first one was alright. I don't think I've ever finished. I should finish it first before I get the second
No,
one.
that's the thing about, like, games. Like, you with movies, you basically always have to, like, you don't always have to, but a lot, like, most of the time you just say, all right, I'm gonna sit here and just watch the fucking movie. And then with games, like, all right, I have to come back here again and again. Your interest is gonna be waning, even for a game you like,
Yeah.
So I can't really blame yourself on that one. It's like more of just like the nature of games in general.
Yeah. I still want to 100% Hyrule Warriors.
The Age of Calamity or the other one?
Yeah. Age of Calamity.
Did you get the first one?
Yeah. It was good. It was. I didn't 100% it because how could you?
Yeah.
Possibly.
The definitive edition, especially, like, yeah, it's.
Have you seen the completionist?
Yeah, I think I remember him like saying, "All right, there's a lot of stuff to do here, especially with the maps and the characters and all this shit. You got to do all this." Like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
And I imagine it gets really repetitious because it's like the game is like repetition in general, but it's like I guess it's like fun. It's not my kind of thing. I don't think.
Yeah. It gets too much though at some point.
You considering Persona 5 Scramble?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm getting it.
When is it coming out? Like, it's February something. April.
It's coming to Steam as well, isn't it?
It is. The first Persona 5 game to come to Steam.
Yeah, Persona 5 Strikers.
Persona 5 Racing. When is it coming out? Come on, guys.
February 23rd. Oh, I'm excited.
Oh man, it's gonna be
Cause
something.
but I got like different information on that. I don't know if it's a I'm not sure if it's now a continuation of Royal or the original Persona 5, because that's what I heard originally, that it's a continuation of the original and not Royal.
It's of the original because I don't think because I don't think I've seen any like the new character or whatever and
No, but like I've had people, I saw people on Reddit say that that it is a continuation of Royal, that they just say that Kasumi is in Paris at that time.
Well then I guess it doesn't really matter at that point, huh?
Probably
like,
not.
all right, well let's not alienate the fans or whatever.
Yeah, it. I'm still gonna get it. I don't think it's gonna be much from Royal.
There's a lot of games
Uh,
coming out this year, huh?
Other than maybe one of the. I don't want to spoil too much, but a character that died in original is apparently revived in Royal later,
Man, this game's
and
crazy.
only because fans are hot for
Mm.
that character.
Hey, you were just saying, all right, don't think about the fandom, but this case you literally cannot like say, all right, well,
No, but they're probably the reason why that character got
yeah,
revived.
well, that's just
Because that character does not deserve to be revived. It's a bad person.
I'm just saying that
It's literally the villain.
we'll say that even though like the fandom did want him to come back, I mean it was the like developers' decision. All right, let's put him back in. Let's put him whoever it is. I don't know him, her. I didn't play it, but who
Yeah.
who
No, it just bothers me that uh, evil characters can be redeemed in the eyes of some people just because they're hot.
just because they're hot. Yeah, you're. Oh man, that's
Like they did unforgivable things in the story, and it's like, oh, they're hot though.
yeah. Like oh yeah, just like it happens. It happens a lot, especially it's because like again every time that we always go back like why are these people like getting sexualized because you see one fucking Ted Bundy fan cam compilation or whatever the fuck where you have like oh my god he's so
Yeah.
hot like you never are the same after seeing that shit, man.
Yeah.
It's a mess. But like in terms of like thing I guess like a lot of these like game characters are a little bit more because they're a little bit more fleshed out, right? Like you see like, oh yeah they're not that bad, they have a good side to them even if they're actual like murderer. It's fine. Murder can be forgiven if it's the
Yeah.
right person,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jesus.
it's rough.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think that yeah, the game industry is a mess right now, but there are a lot of good games coming out, even though game developers have it hard.
But the best ones are in the indie scene, and there the developers aren't being
Yeah.
mistreated as much, if at
Well,
all.
I mean, if they are being mistreated, it's kind of a lot. Usually, it's like a solo developer, so it's a lot on like their own, like being a like little workaholic maybe, or like going.
If it's just one person doing it and also like working themselves to the ground, it's like, okay, at least you're not doing it to
Yeah,
anyone
at least
else.
you're like alone in that fact. But I guess game development is like one of those things. It's like all right, you can really just run yourself into the ground pretty easily. It's not
Yeah.
like movie production where you have to have like certain like you have to have certain hours or certain schedule, like a lot of like scheduling issues or whatever, or with TV like the same thing, or like book write. It's like kind of
Yeah.
like with like writing or whatever. You can like keep like writing and writing and writing and reworking and doing all this shit front and back every day. Like you can just you know
Yeah.
it's yeah, that's the thing about it. But yeah, so I guess we've been here for a couple hours, right?
Yeah, we're like almost about to hit the 3 hours,
Alright,
right?
so I could let me just ask you, you got any plans? What are your plans for the future? Even that seems like an interview question, right? That was something they would ask. Right?
I guess just well, after my apprenticeship, I'm gonna have to find a new job, and that's gonna be my priority for now. And then making videos is gonna be secondary
Of
for
course,
now.
of course. Any
Yeah.
any like
Let's see.
videos?
Let's see how much motivation I'll have once I start working again, and then only have like 4 hours in the evening to do shit.
Any kind of like videos in mind? You said you had the Ultrakill video, and like you said you wrote the started writing the script for that one.
Yeah, a little bit, but it's a challenge, of course, because it's not much story to speak of. So I'm just gonna have to convey my feelings purely on the base of the gameplay.
Yeah, and I guess like there's not much too much behind the video. The first video with the barista and thing. This is like it's just the video.
Yeah.
So you can't, no director's commentary like, oh, here's what I did there. It's like, yeah, I just wrote, I wrote the thing and I did it. Yeah.
Yeah. And after that, I'll probably do one on Sayonara Wild Hearts. Go back to like a bit more somber.
Hmm.
And then I'll see if I can alternate between action game and
Story, kind of like
story.
tone
Yeah.
based, like different like tones.
Yeah. Definitely like challenge myself.
Well, first of all, any more like you used to call it, your favorite films? Got any like ones in mind you have?
I'm not a big film guy, to be honest. Like if I watch something, it's usually anime, just because.
Well, anime movies still count.
Yeah, yeah. Your Name, Sound Voice. Probably very generic favorite movie choices.
Literally the top two on now, but still.
Yeah, deserved.
What's it called? You ever see what's the one with like the lady? She doesn't get old, but her kid does. What the fuck is that movie called? Makia. You ever seen that one?
Yes,
yeah.
I've seen it.
Wasn't that movie fucking sad? Was that movie fucking sad?
It's
so goddamn sad.
I cried a lot.
It's so fucking sad. Oh, it hurt. It really did. But I just wanted to ask you that specifically, like say, like maybe we like, or ask like, all right, here's a question that maybe you could like relate to in a section. Like, yeah, we both know.
Yeah, Makia is good.
Yeah,
good.
It's a nice fun time. But yeah, I don't know. I don't. Let me not keep you here for too long. But yeah, you've answered all my questions pretty well. I don't know, like,
cool.
It was basically on a whim. It's like saying, all right, well, you got something going on. You got some like in-depth thoughts about things, and you got a background and stuff. So, I needed to record. It's not most like I needed to record one, but I wanted to talk to somebody because I'm fucking lonely as always. So,
okay.
Yeah, this is Human Talk episode 2, right? I guess. This is the second one. So
yeah.
Congratulations on getting to my shitty podcast.
Hell yeah. I am on it. That making one okay video has got me here.
Hopefully this works out for both of us pretty well.
Yeah, hopefully.
So what's your channel name? You gonna chill, get a second.
Yeah, it's just Gregeru on YouTube.
And
you'll
spell it out. Spell it out for those listening at home.
It's Greg and then ERU.
That's
It's Gregeru.
I'll probably put it in the comments or description or something. And oh yeah, what do you want me to put like as your like thing in this episode? Like just a slime, just a Dragon Quest slime zoomed in really close, like bit.
Yeah,
that'd
sure.
be pretty funny.
So then everyone can see recognize my channel icon right away.
That's like my favorite love, the love of Dragon Quest, right? That's your thing.
Yeah.
I assume you make a Dragon Quest video eventually, huh?
Eventually, yes.
Well,
it's just I'm gonna push that a bit further back since also those are big games.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff to record.
Yeah, because this one was a pretty short one, like 4 hours, and like a lot of the issue with like video making is just like storage, So it's.
Yeah, I have to keep track of that. I only have about 100 gigs to work with at the moment.
I have to delete some games. But yeah, it was. I think that would be a good point to stop. Yeah, it was nice having you here, Greg.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And well, I don't know how the fuck you'd end a podcast. We'll just like say words until it. How did I do it last time? How the fuck did I end a podcast last time? We just like literally just like, all right, well, here it is. Here's the end. We're gonna say at the end. Here it is gonna be eventually. So.
Yeah. No, this is the end right now. Cut.
Bye.